Hallowed by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakadash. The one is our apostle, the Bishop of Greatmillstone. The one Shalom to the hopeful elect. The brothers of Greatmillstone Nyc Camp. Back in, doing the word of our Yahushua. Straight to it, let's get started.
It's Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see.
This was a vision that the prophet Isaiah saw. The burden of Babylon. So he saw the destruction of Babylon the Great. This is well known as a miracle.
It says, lift me up a banner upon a high mountain. Isaiah 13 and 2. Lift me up a banner upon a high mountain.
Prophets are commanded to lift up that banner. The banner is the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the scriptures. And these scriptures are for the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians.
Isaiah 16:4. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Psalm 16:4. It says, thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee.
The Lord had given a banner to who? His saints, the prophets, the servants. Those that fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the men of the Lord. Those that believe in His knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
That it may be displayed because of the truth.
Yeah, and His knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is the truth. His banner is for the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, telling you to get right with your power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, come back to the nationality as Israelites.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 2. I lift me up a banner upon a high mountain.
We're lifting up that banner upon a high mountain. Going to the word mountain means government. We're in a high mountain. We're in the chief place of Congress. Teaching us knowledge, wisdom, understanding for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to our people. Giving them the warning of what's coming in the near future. Turn back from your wicked ways. You get right with your God before it's too late. Before you be partakers of the destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America.
Exalt the voice unto them.
Yeah, exalt their voice. So the prophets are lifting up their voice. You guys lifting up our voice to the people, to the Lord's chosen people. So you Israelites, warning you, telling you that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is about to bring forth fierce anger, great wrath upon the entire earth. If you're not right with him, you're going to be destroyed.
This is Isaiah 58 and 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
So the prophets are crying aloud, lifting up their voice, sparing not, showing no pity, showing no mercy. They're letting you know that you're going low, you're going wrong in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Yeah, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. So we're on the highways and byways, we can speak out, lifting out our voice, screaming to the top of our lungs to the Israelites.
And show my people their transgression, and the house of Israel their sin.
Yeah, so the house of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and the Lord's people. The prophets, the messengers of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are showing you the transgression of sin. Letting you know that following other gods is old, out of order, it's wicked. Eating abominable food, wicked. Being a homosexual, that's wicked. So we're telling you to get right with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, walking in his ways, which is the Lord's statutes and commandments. This is our wisdom.
It's Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 2. It says, lift me up a banner upon a high mountain.
You know that banner is the knowledge of the understanding of the scriptures.
Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
Yep, we're in the gates of the nobles. Concourse, teaching his knowledge with him understanding. We were looking at Jeremiah 31:7.
This is Jeremiah 31 and 7. But thus saith the Lord,
Thus say Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the God of Israel. This is his words. We're just messengers. We're not freestyling. We're speaking the words of the Holy Scripture.
sing with gladness to Jacob.
Gladness to Jacob. Who Jacob represents you Israelites. And his knowledge, wisdom, understanding is a song. Right?
And shout among the chief of the nations.
Yeah, shout among the chief of the nations. Who's the chief of the nations, Esau, Edom. And his rulership, Babylon the Great. The scriptures tell you that America is known as the great whore that sit upon the scarlet-colored beast. She's the mother of all harlots. She's the leader of all nations. And the prophets are prophesying against this wicked kingdom, letting them know that evil, war, and pestilence is coming in the near future. You get that,
Publish ye.
Publish ye. The publish means to make public. So the prophets are in the public, in the streets, teaching the knowledge of the understanding of the Holy Scriptures. He's making his word public, standing in great boldness in the face of him that put us. Esau, Edom, so-called white man, is the man that put us. To let him know that destruction is coming. That his kingdom is about to be taken out by thermonuclear destruction.
Praise ye and say, O Yahweh, save thy people.
Save thy people, royal people. The nation of Israel, starting with the elect, because 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be cut off from God in the near future. Why? Because they refuse to repent. They continue to do wickedness. Right?
The remnant of Israel.
The remnant going into the remainder. That's the 1/3. Starting with the 144,000 men and prophets, along with the great multitude. Then one of the children. That's the remainder. That's going to be the ones that be delivered out of this destruction that's coming in the near future.
Yeah, I got something. This is Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. They're gathered together, O nation not desired.
Yeah, so gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Who is that nation? The Israelites. Why? Because you look at as the scum of the earth. You look at the bottom of the bottom. These people, these other nations don't see us as the chosen people of the Bible. They don't see us as God's chosen people. So we're that nation that's not desired. These other nations are disgraced at us. And we're being gathered with His word. Real quick, we get the Romans chapter 4:37.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 37. It says, Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west, by the word of the Holy One.
The Holy Scriptures, the Spirit of Power, Yahweh Shimon Shah, gathering the sons and prophets throughout the four corners of the earth. Because the light has been scattered, north, south, east, and west, amongst these other nations due to our disobedience, breaking the Lord's statutes and commandments to Yahweh Shimon Shah. And because of the love and the mercy of our power, He brought us back to our heritage, us being Israelites, coming back to our true heritage, our true nationality, being God's chosen people. We're being gathered by the knowledge and understanding of the Holy Scriptures.
It says, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High.
Yeah, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. Because the Lord is about to bring forth salvation to the elect in their future. And we have hope in that. We have hope and trust in our power that He's going to deliver us out of the trouble to come. It's about to be great tribulation in the near future. A time like never before in history. Jacob's trouble. Judgment will begin at the house of Israel. Those that know that they're Israelites.
Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Because those kept the Lord's patience, those that suffered, He's going to keep you from the hour of temptation. And Esau, even so-called white men come down with great wrath. Because in the near future, He's about to require the entire earth to take His mark of the beast. This is the R5D microchip. But the elect, the nation of Israel, won't bow down to Esau either. Why? Because they fear Yahweh Shimon Shah. So those that suffer to the end, those that endure to the end, that's going to be the ones that will be saved. The scripture says, if you be faithful unto death, you will receive the crown of life. So you're going to receive salvation. Fear Yahweh Shimon Shah.
It says, which shall come upon all the world.
It shall come upon all the world. That's what's coming in the near future. Esau, even so-called white man, he's going to be wicked. He's about to require the entire earth to take His mark of the beast. So He's going to require all the nations to take it. If the elected nation of Israel will take it.
It says to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, and this is going to be a test. Trial means a test. So this is going to be the biggest test of our faith. you going to bow down to Esau and his so-called white man, or you going to bow down to the God of Israel, the true power? And the elect, they're going to bow down to Yahweh Shema Shah. Why? Because they trust him.
This is Matthew chapter 6, to verse 24. No man.
All right, go ahead. Keep going.
This is Matthew 24. No man can serve two masters.
Yeah, so no need to serve two masters. You got our other people, they install in different philosophies and beliefs. They believe in Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Buddha, and all the other false gods, right? Hollywood, right? Feminism, idolatry, women, themselves. So these are the things that people worship. Celebrating their birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day.
For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
Yeah, so we're supposed to hold on to one power. And that's the how about Shema Shah, Israel. We're not supposed to name these different doctrines. Our true power is the power by Shema Shah, for the world living for the God of Jesus Christ. That's the power of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So the prophets on the highways and byways commanding you to turn back from your wicked ways, cast away these other gods, because there's no breath in them.
It says we cannot serve the Most High in mammon.
Yeah, you got a lot of our people that serve mammon. Mammon is money. Worshiping, doing all types of shit with dollar bills.
Zephaniah 2:2. It says, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Yeah, so before the Lord brings forth destruction, before he brings forth his wrath upon the entire earth, the righteous indignation, this is what you do.
It says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth.
Yeah, so seek. Yahweh Shema Shah, all ye meek of the earth, while he is found. And he's found through his prophets. The prophets are still on the highways and byways giving out that warning to the nation of Israel. This is the time to get right with your power. Because day by day, we're getting closer and closer to the second coming of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. To the word given to us in Christ. And if you're not in good standards with Yahweh Shema Shah, you're going to be partakers of the destruction. You're going to be partakers of the lake of fire. A missile is going to have your name on it. So seek ye meek of the earth. The scripture says, the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek represents the lowly, the humble. And the nation of Israel is known as the lowly. Why? Because we're at the bottom of the bottom. We're at the tail. These other nations are above us. Due to our disobedience, the Yahweh Shema Shah is about to exhort and start with the elect nation of Israel. Your woman will be a part of that number. So seek ye Yahweh Shema Shah. And you seek him through his prophets, messengers. That's how the Yahweh Shema Shah speaks. He speaks to his men. Both sides not going to get over the throne. He's going to say forth his servants. That's the real king.
Hebrews chapter 1, and verse 1. It says, the Most High, who are sundry times and in diverse manners, spake the time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Yeah, so the Lord sent, since the beginning of time, he sent the prophets to give out that message. Since the days of Noah. Noah was preaching for years, telling our people to get right with Yahweh Shema Shah. Got the prophets of old, got Isaiah, Jeremiah, the major prophets and the minor prophets. Most definitely our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach. The Lord always set up prophets to give forth that warning, to get right, to turn back to your heritage, to turn back to Yahweh Shema Shah before it's too late.
It says, after these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he is appointed heir of all things.
Yeah, so the Lord can spare the Yahweh Shah because through him we was brought back to our nationality. Through him we was given the knowledge we can understand. Because the book tell you that the book was closed, it was completely sealed. But through our Lord Yahweh Shah dying for us, we was given that knowledge we can understand. We got the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah in us. To teach the Israelites to come back to your power, to the right of Yahweh Shema Shah, to turn from your wicked ways.
by whom also he made the world.
Yeah, and the word took on the word of Israel. But it's not dealing with the royal title. It's dealing with that cosmos, that special people. This is the nation of Israel. We know in Deuteronomy 7:6, the nation of Israel is a special people above all nations. We're separate from these other nations. Why? Because it was given the Lord said in His name, which is our wisdom. It tells you that in Deuteronomy 4:7. Knowledge and understanding of the Holy Scriptures is our wisdom.
Second Ezra 2:1. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage.
Yeah, the Lord has brought this people out of bondage too. The nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, bondage, captivity, slavery, out of the hands of the wicked, out of the hands of our enemies. It's going to be the nation.
And I gave them my commandments by men servants.
Yep, so the Lord gave His commandments to His servants, the prophets. We're the messengers of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. This is how the Lord speaks. As I mentioned, He's not going to deal with His throne and speak. He's a king. He's going to send forth the servants of the prophets. We see today. It's all our elder apostles, elder bishops, elder brothers, and younger brothers. We're the messengers of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. We forth the warning, telling you Israelites, and also you need the nation that the God of Israel is about to bring forth wrath upon the entire earth. And only the elect is going to be delivered from these times.
It says, by men servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear.
Yeah, and the prophets of these hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious Israelites don't want to hear. Why? Because you watch the evil. You convicting your soul to turn back and eating abominable food, with sleeping with other men and women. You refuse to turn back to righteousness. Right?
But despise my counsel.
Yeah, they despise the counsel, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the God of Israel. They hate it. Why? Because it conflicts their soul. The scripture says that the word is sharper than a two-edged sword, and it pierces them spiritually.
This is Jeremiah chapter 7 and verse 25. It says, since the day when your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants the prophets.
So since the beginning of the time, since we was in Egypt, the Most High sent our forefather Moses to give us the Lord's statutes and commandments to teach us to walk in the ways of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. So the Lord always sent forth His servants the prophets. Amos 3:7 says, before Yahweh by Shemel Shah do anything, He's going to send His servants. These are the men of the Lord. To tell you Israelites to get back into power.
It says, daily rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearken not unto me.
Yeah, they refuse to listen. Hearken means to listen. They refuse to consider the words of Yahweh by Shemel Shah because they don't see the men of the Lord as messengers of the Lord.
It says, nor incline their ear, nor harden their neck.
Yeah, they harden their neck because they stiff-necked and rebellious. They rebel, they refuse to turn back and obey authority. Now authority is Yahweh by Shemel Shah.
Only is one truth. That was what it comes from the Lord. The Lord is speaking to us through the Holy Spirit. So if you don't take heed to what he's saying, the Most High through your Holy God is going to destroy you.
That's not the God of our people. We're those judges. In other words, God is judging. We're judging the Israelites telling them to get right with Yahweh by Shemel Shah. But our people mock and they scoff us. They don't look at us as the men of the Lord because of our appearance. They don't see us with sharp honor. Nope. They don't see us with truth. They look at T.D. Jakes and these false prophets as men of the Lord. But they're not teaching what's to come. They're not teaching prophecy. And the prophesy means to speak on future events. To speak by divine inspiration. Not divine inspiration is Yahweh by Shemel Shah. We're giving you the words of the God of Israel, telling you that destruction is coming. And the only ones that's going to hearken is the elect of the nation of Israel.
And they're worse than their fathers.
Yeah, they did worse than their fathers. And day by day, this place is getting more wicked. We're in the kingdom of Esau, even the so-called white man. And he's doing everything in his kingdom that's contrary to the Holy Scriptures. For example, homosexuality. They got laws to protect these sodomites. The Scriptures tell you that we're supposed to put them to death. You can't do that in this kingdom. But Esau, Edom, he got hatred promised for these fellow Sodomites.
It says, therefore, thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken unto thee.
Yes, so we're speaking these words in all these scriptures. These are the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah, the God of Israel. And it's for you Israelites. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, once again, they're not going to hearken. They're not going to climb. They're not going to consider what the prophet is saying. And we know the terrorists of Yahweh Shemel Shah. We're persuading, we're trying to convince our people to get right with Yahweh Shemel Shah. But not everyone's going to get it. Only the elect is going to understand.
And thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee.
Yeah, we calling. The Lord is calling through his prophets, his servants. We're crying and we're sighing, telling you to get right. And this is a labor of love. This is all love. We're not, we could be doing anything else, but we're doing the will of Yahweh Shemel Shah. We're telling our people to get back, which is power.
But thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of Yahweh their power.
Yeah, so this is a nation, the Israelites, that refuse not to listen to Yahweh Shemel Shah.
Nor receiveth correction.
Yeah, nor receive correction. This is what it's all about. Rebuke, reproof, and correction. Exhorting. And we're reproving you, we rebuking you, disapproving you of your wickedness, of your sin, willingly. Telling you to get back. Stop being a wicked nigga. Stop being a wicked thought. Come back to Yahweh Shemel Shah. Walk in the best ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Rehearsing the righteous acts. Because faith without works is dead. They go hand in hand. You show your faith by your works.
It says truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth.
Yeah, truth is perished. This is the knowledge of understanding. It's perished because of the wicked world that we're in.
First Thessalonians 4:8. He therefore that despiseth not man, but God.
Yeah, so he that despises me is hate, despise the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah. We don't despise the prophet, we despise the God of Israel.
Who hath also given unto us his Holy Spirit.
Yeah, so the Holy Spirit is the knowledge of understanding the scriptures, the sound doctrine of Yahweh Shemel Shah. 2/3 of the nation of Israel get this knowledge.
They tell you like Amos told you anything that was written in the faith. Read the words that was speaking at the point of going, you say it's not our word. Right? It's everything that the law about you know is right. You know the things in it. 12th chapter. I don't know if you was the main part of the man of the country. They're the most but it's come to the realization of the people of the Lord don't want to fear the Lord. That's why he's got to get rid of 2/3 of them.
This is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed.
Yeah, whoso hated the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah, they're going to be destroyed. Because the Lord's about to bring forth judgment. In the near future, we're going to have World War III. This is going to be the downfall of Esau and the kingdom. 2/3 of the Israelites and so-called Negroes not going to be murdered. Guess what? We're going to be partakers of that destruction. Why? Because you despise the words about God, Yahweh by Shemel Shah. You refuse to hearken to the servants of the prophets. You refuse to obey authority. You refuse to obey the leadership of Israel, which are the messengers of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. Therefore, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be partakers of the destruction that comes in the near future. Thus say Yahweh by Shemel Shah.
But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded.
Yeah, that's going to the light. The ones that fear Yahweh Shemel Shah is 1/3. They're going to turn back from the wicked ways past the false deities and come back to the truth of God, which is Yahweh Shemel Shah. And they're going to walk in his ways to the best of their ability. They're going to make an effort to show Yahweh Shemel Shah that they fear.
Zechariah 7:11. But they refuse to hearken and pull away the shoulder.
Yeah, so they refuse to hearken and pull away the shoulder. That's our people. They went astray to follow these different philosophies, these different doctrines, these religions, these ideologies.
It says, and stop their ears that they should not hear.
Yeah, so they stop their ears that they should not hear the words of the Lord through the service of prophets. But guess what? They don't understand at the death by pain. They won't understand when they see the mission coming over at their head. And they don't be beamed up into the Holy Church. That's when they don't understand. They won't get in the kingdom of heaven. Now, only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to hearken to Yahweh Shai. Only the elect, the true believers of Yahweh Shai, they're going to follow the ways of the Lord.
Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone.
Yeah, adamant stone is something that's very hard. Now people, you saw the little Negroes start seeing very American, they're very hard-headed. They're soft or hard-headed, they're soft or hard. You're going to get it in the near future, you're going to destroy it. You're going to be cremated along with Babylon the Great. You don't understand why you're going to fight.
Lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts hath sent in the Spirit by the former prophets, therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, they would not hear. So they cried, I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts.
Yep, that's what you tell you that. Proverbs 1st chapter. In the day of their calamity, they're going to cry out to Yahweh Shai, but guess what? He's not going to hear. Why? Because while the prophets was crying through the power of him, he wasn't talking. He wasn't listening. He wasn't considering that you're the chosen people of God. Listen.
When the time comes, because everybody in the spirit, when something happens to them, who they call, you know, regardless of who they quote unquote deem to believe. When shit gets to fan, they call on so-called God and Jesus Christ. Because in the spirit they know who it is. But when that time comes, the Heavenly Father comes and go call on Buddha, go call on Allah, go call on the black people who you soul, right? There's so many niggas out there that worship their woman, go call on her. The Heavenly Father is not going to listen to people out there. Only the ones who's going to listen to us is elect. That's in John the 2nd chapter. It says, the Most High heareth not sinners, but he that doeth the will of the Most High, him he heareth.
Like I said, people, they come back to Yahweh Shai and trouble. I grew up with a lot of niggas that got locked up. You know, always going up to my scriptures. They don't want to hearken. And when they get locked up and got to do years, that's when they read the Bible. They don't want to turn back to Yahweh Shai while it's driving on the corner. They do it when they're in trouble.
So Judges chapter 10, verse 13.
Start verse 10.
Judges 10 and verse 13. It says, yet ye have forsaken me.
Yeah, so you abandoned the God of Israel, your true power. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians. The true power is Yahweh Shai. It's not God and Jesus Christ. It's not Muhammad. It's not these other false deities. There's no breath in these other gods.
It says, and serve of the gods.
Serve for the gods. There's different deities, as I mentioned. God, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Buddha, all these different ideologies, all these different beliefs, false doctrines, you are believers.
It says, wherefore I will deliver you no more.
Yes, the Lord is not going to deliver them on faith. The Lord always had mercy upon his people and deliver. But this time, in the near future, only the elect will be delivered from the mass destruction that's coming from the kingdom. The remnant is going to return. The remnant is going to be delivered from the fire.
It says, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen.
Yeah, so go cry to God, Jesus Christ. Go cry to Caesar or Jim that you worship. Right?
It says, let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation.
Yeah, so in time of your trouble, the pain and suffering come upon you like the one you give you birth. Let those gods that you pray to save you. Because the Lord's going to show you that there's no breath in them. The book of Isaiah tells you that they cast off the false gods because there was no breath in them, no power in them. They won't understand when Yahweh Shai bring forth his wrath.
Jeremiah 51:17. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image.
Yeah, that's going to these other gods. You got 2/3 of the nation of Israel that do this. Refuse to hearken to Yahweh Shemel Shah. They refuse to hearken to the true God of Israel, and they keep on worshiping these false deities, these false gods.
This is Psalm chapter 115. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. Yeah, so we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Why do we do that? Because he gave us the gift of faith. He gave us the Rakah Kadash, which is the Holy Spirit, to be able to come here and glorify him. So we can't boast. We give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shai for having mercy on us to do what we're doing. Because without Yahweh Shai, we wouldn't have the Holy Spirit. We wouldn't have mercy and grace through his blood and sacrifice. So it says, for thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. It says, wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their God? But our God is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands.
Yep, so these other gods that these people believe in is made by hand. And how about Shemel Shah is in the heavens? He is the creator of all things, right? He's the one that's moving the chess pieces. He's the director of this movie that we're in. Right? But these other gods that these people worshiping, there's no breath in them. There's no power in them. There's no deliverance in them. Jesus Christ not going to be able to save you. If that stone that's in the Mecca is not going to be able to save you. Just recently, the Most High plagued the Mecca with cockroaches. How's a plague? That shows you that there's no power. You got it,
Real quick, in India yesterday, it rained down white worms. In India, it rained down. I got the article. It rained down white worms in India. That's a fact, man.
I'm showing you that this and it's unclean. You feel me? Like the Lord not gonna like unclean. Like if your God has true power, he's not gonna let that happen. The God of Israel is just showing you that there's no breath in these other deities that our people in these other nations believe in.
Hey, I'm sorry, you know what's a perfect thing to go to? History of Bel and the Dragon. When you go into that, even Nebuchadnezzar admitted that our power was the only power, the one true power.
I got it right here. The brothers can see it. It's on Daily Mail. And it reads, it says, disgusting moment. It rains white worms in India. Road is left covered in a thick layer of bugs with a bizarre scene like biblical plague, like a biblical plague. And it was a biblical plague, man. Yahweh's plaguing the world which he made, man. You gotta understand that, man. 2 weeks ago in India, in Saudi Arabia, it was cockroaches and locusts. 2 weeks later, in India, they being plagued. Why did God need different nations can't deliver us from these plagues that Yahweh, why Yahweh shot to bring them upon them? Because the idols of the gods in different nations, nothing but idols, man.
Water.
Yeah, the Most High is mocking them too. Just like how he plagued ancient Egypt, he was mocking their God. The same thing he's doing in this time period. I got a little bit more. It says, Psalms 115 verse 5. It says, they have mouths, but they speak not.
Yeah, they have mouths, but they speak not. Because they're dead. There's no power in these other deities that the world believes in. There's only true power in the God of Israel, the power of God. He's the deliverer. These other deities can't save you from the soul that's coming from your future. You're going to see that in your future. I don't know what.
It says, eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not.
So this is just showing you that there's no power in these different nations, in these different gods that these people believe. There's no power in Jesus Christ. There's no power in the stone in Mecca. There's no power.
Shalom.
Right?
It says, feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat.
Yeah, because they was made by hand. These are man-made gods.
Got you.
It says, they that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusteth in them.
Yeah, and these gods that these people believe in are temporary.
That's right.
There's no breath in them. There's
Hallelujah.
no spirit in them.
Hallelujah.
This is Acts 4, Acts 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation
Hey, brother,
in any
brother, yo,
other.
step back, man. Step back, step back.
Sorry, sorry. Sorry, brother.
Acts 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other.
There's no salvation in these other gods. There's no salvation in Jesus Christ. There's no salvation in Allah and Muhammad. They can't deliver you from the times that's coming in your future. They can't deliver you from Jacob trouble. They can't deliver you from great tribulation. They can't deliver you from the destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great, aka America.
For there is none other name under heaven given among men, whereby we must be saved.
Yeah, there's no other name under heaven that's going to save us. The name above is what's going to save us. That's Yahweh Shah. God, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's going to be the deliverer. The Most High is going to send forth His Son, Yahweh Shah, to the world in the course of Jesus Christ. And He is that Savior. The Hebrew word means He delivers. He's the only one that's going to be able to deliver us in the times to come, in the times of Jacob's trouble. He's going to deliver us out of the third world, World War III. That's going to be by the Holy Chariots.
This is 1 John chapter 3 and verse 23. It says, and this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Yeah, this is the law that we commanded to worship Yahweh Shai only. You can't worship the gods. This is the name, the true names of God of Israel. Yahweh, we work when we call God, which means He exists, He is, and His name is His Son, Yahweh Shai. We call Jesus Christ, but the quote, the name He always delivered. This is the true name of God of Israel. This is who we must worship. Because if you don't worship Him, you're going to be destroyed.
It says, and love one another.
We must love one another. We must have mercy upon our brother. We must love our neighbor like ourselves.
As he gave us commandments.
This is the commandment. The Lord says the commandment. The Yahweh Shah is our wisdom.
Yeah. It's Exodus 23, verse 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect.
Be circumspect. We need to watch.
And make no mention of the name of other gods.
We must not make any mention. We must not praise Him with the full deity, the other gods. As we mentioned, you got the main God that our people worship today, Jesus Christ. Caesar Borgia. That's a false deity. There's no power, there's no breath in that God.
Neither let it be heard of thy mouth.
Yeah, neither let it be heard out of our mouth. You got people, they praying to these false names. There's different deities, it's false. They ain't gonna save you in the near future.
It's Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 3 now. It says, I have commanded my sanctified one.
And who the Lord sanctified with the prophet. We sanctify why? Because we're separate, we're made holy. We're separate from these other nations because we were given Lord's statutes and commandments to live by.
This is Jeremiah 1, verse 4. Then the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Yeah, so before Yahweh Shah put His servants on earth, He already knew who they are. You know, they spirit.
And before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee to be a prophet unto the nation.
Yeah, so before you come out from the womb, the Lord already have it set up so what you're going to be in the future. What's your lot, what's your portion going to be on the earth. The scriptures tell you that the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. And the prophets are back here today. Doing the will of Yahweh Shah, doing the nation of Israel. Sanctify them through the Holy Spirit by giving them knowledge and understanding the scriptures.
Verse 6. Then said I, O Lord, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child.
Yeah, so Jeremiah said to the Lord that he couldn't speak because he was a young boy.
But the Most High said unto me, say not I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak.
Yeah, so the Lord basically telling Jeremiah, fear not, just because you're a young man, you still gonna go out there because I'm with you. That's what he's telling Jeremiah. So he's saying, fear not, go do what I told you to do. And teach you knowledge and understanding of how about Shema.
Be not afraid of their faces.
Yeah, be not afraid of their faces. Be not afraid of the scoffers, the mockers, those that rude to you, those that threaten you. Be not afraid of them. Fear Yahweh Shema. He's going to fight for you. Right?
For I am with thee.
Yeah, the Lord is with you. So it don't matter if you're young, you're old. The Spirit is on you to teach. Go ahead and teach. The scriptures tell you that the righteous man stand in great boldness. You're supposed to be as bold as a lion. The scriptures tell you that the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. That's a demon if you got that fearful heart. It's a lack of faith as well. Now pray to him.
For I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Most High.
Yeah, so the Lord's going to deliver you out of your troubles. The scriptures tell you that the angels camp about them that fear. Those that fear Yahweh Shema Shah are the servants. So you got angels that camp, they guarding us right now as you speak. You can't see them, but we know we can take them.
Then the Most High put forth his hand and touched my mouth, and the Most High said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth.
Yes, so the Lord put the words, the knowledge and understanding, and the scriptures in his prophet's mouth. They're the messages. The scriptures tell you in Luke 1:70 that he speaks by his prophets. So this is all the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. We're not freestyling, we're not making up stuff at the top of our head. We're speaking what's written through the power of Yahweh Shema Shah.
See,
This is 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Yeah, so it's commanded that we speak the words of prophecy. Like I mentioned earlier, the word prophecy means to speak about divine inspiration. To foretell, to say before, to foretell future events that's coming. When we're speaking to the Lord's people, we're telling the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We're telling you what's about to happen in the near future, before it comes. We're telling you that Jacob's trouble is coming in the near future. Great tribulation is coming. We're telling you that even the so-called white man is within you, is about to come forth with great wrath against the time of children.
Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Yeah, so the Lord put his spirit in us to teach his word.
It says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
That's going to the Holy Scriptures. What's written, what we read in the Holy Scriptures, the Holy Bible, is faithful and true. But the Scriptures tell you that the Most High is not a man that he should lie. So everything that's written, all the future prophecies that's coming in the near future, they will be accomplished. Thus say Yahweh Shema Shah.
This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
So what if some do not believe the knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Shema Shah? What if some do not believe the words of the Lord? Will they unbelief they bring confusion, make the Most High words not come to pass? Right?
It says, the Most High forbid.
No.
It says, yeah, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar.
Yeah, so the Most High is true, it's faithful. Everything that's written in the Holy Scriptures is going to happen. You get Isaiah 55.
It says, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome what thou art done. This is Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
The Lord's words is found in the Holy Scriptures, the Holy Bible. True knowledge of the earth. These are the words of Yahweh Shema Shah that's being spoken to a certain prophet.
it shall not return unto me void.
Yeah, so this written is not going to return to the Lord void. This written will come to pass, meaning it will happen. Right?
But it shall accomplish that which I please.
Yeah, it's going to accomplish. It's going to happen. Jacob's trouble is going to happen. The downfall of Esau, Edom, so-called white man is going to happen. The kingdom of heaven will be established on earth. Let's say how about Shema. The mark of the beast, the hour of temptation. These are the things that's going to come to pass in the near future. Because it is written. This is what Yahweh Shema says is going to happen. Future prophecies. It will happen, whether you believe it or not. You get Amos 9:10.
It shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
Yeah, so the words of Yahweh Shema was sent forth from this earth. And the prophets are speaking the words of Yahweh Shema. Guess what? Those that fear Yahweh Shema is going to believe, is going to be delivered through the said purge that's coming in their future. Because they listen, they fear, they hearken. They know that these words are faithful and true. The 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to be destroyed. Why? Because they don't believe. They're unbelieving. So they're going to be partakers of that lake of fire. They're going to burn in the presence of the land and how shall Mashiach.
This is Amos 9, verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
Yes, so all the sinners of the Lord's people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to die by the sword. You know, the Lord's sword is Esau, Edom, so-called white man. You know, the Lord's sword is also the thermonuclear fire. That's coming, thermonuclear missile that's coming in the near future. They're going to die by that sword in the near future. Right?
Say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Yeah, that's what 2/3 of the nation of Israel said. They think this life is about prosperity. They think this kingdom is going to be here forever. They in for a rude awakening. Because the God of Israel is about to bring forth his righteous indignation upon the whole earth. He's about to destroy Esau and his wicked kingdom. He's about to establish the kingdom of heaven, which will be a righteous kingdom. And it's going to be an everlasting kingdom. It will never be taken out of power.
Verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David.
It's going into the elect, 1/3. The great multitude along with 144,000 men. Right?
That is fallen.
That is fallen, fell due to our disobedience. But through the spirit of Yahweh Shema is going to raise back up. Both southern and northern kingdom.
And close up the breaches thereof.
That's what I'm saying, that gap. Because we was split. The nation of Israel is being brought back spiritually. Physically, we're going to be brought back to the kingdom of heaven. Through deliverance. And we're going to be one.
And I will raise raise up his ruins, and I will build it in the days of old.
Yeah, so the kingdom was, because the land of Israel right now is polluted. It's wicked. Babylon the Great in certain parts of the earth, including the land of Israel, are going to be destroyed. But in the kingdom of heaven, these heathen nations are going to build up our kingdom. A hardcore slavery.
Verse 12. That they may possess the remnant of Edom.
Yeah, we're going to possess, meaning we're going to own the remnant of Esau. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Because these rulers of the earth, or you Edomites, start with the elite banking families. And you're going to be the first ones that go into captivity. The scriptures tell you in Psalms 149, we're going to put their kings in fetters of iron. Got it.
This is Psalm chapter 149 and verse. This is Psalms 149 and verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people.
So the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. Start with the elect of the nation of Israel. The elect so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians. Right?
He will beautify the meek with salvation.
Yeah, he's going to beautify the meek with salvation. Because the scriptures tell you, in the moment and the twinkle of the eye, it shall all be changed. So we're going to be changed from these perishable bodies, and we're going to be made gods.
It says, let the saints be joyful in glory.
Who's the saints? Psalms 148, chapter 4. The saints are the Israelites. The saints mean to be separate, to be holy. Once again, we're holy, we're separate from these other nations because we were given laws, statutes, and commandments. Right?
It says, let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Yeah, and we're going to be rejoicing, giving more praise to Yahweh Shah because he delivered us. Lord willing, we were the first ones that make it in the chariots. Lord willing.
It says, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand.
We want to have scepters. Scepters, that's what kings hold. You know, it's symbolic for rulership, dominion. We're going to be going inside the people's head. We're going to bash them with a rod of iron. If they go off and break the Lord's statutes and commandments, because that's going to be the true law of the kingdom of heaven. The Lord's statutes and commandments that's written in the Holy Scriptures. That's what the whole world got to live by. When these other heathen nations don't abide by the laws of Yahweh Shah, they're going to be put to death. If you catch these heathens being sodomites, they're going to be put to death. If you catch them doing adultery, they're going to be put to death. These are the true laws of Yahweh Shah that's going to be established on the entire universe.
I got a piece of it.
You got to know.
More?
Yeah, right. I got two more.
Two more. Let me show you. Bring it up.
It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen.
Yeah, we're going to execute vengeance upon the heathen who are our enemies. Psalms 83rd chapter, starting with Esau, enemies, so-called white people. He's our biggest enemy. He shed a lot of Israelite blood, therefore he won't have to pay in the kingdom of heaven. Thus say Yahweh Shah. And he's going to do it by the power of his people, by you Israelites, starting with the elect. Right?
And punishments upon the people.
Yeah, we're going to punish these heathen nations. We're going to shed righteous blood on these. It's going to be a righteous thing to shed blood on these heathen nations. Because they shed our blood, so recompense got to come upon you. Scripture said a man going to reap what he sowed. He sowed in his so-called white man. He reaped nothing but wickedness. He reaped nothing but bloodshed, violence. So guess what? He's going to get violence in the kingdom of heaven.
It says to bond their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
Yeah, so we're going to bond their kings. We're going to bond these heathen nations, starting with the rulers of the earth, these new banking families, with fetters of iron and shackles. It's going to be on their neck, it's going to be on their hands and their feet. We're going to drive you back to our kingdom.
It says to execute upon them the judgment written.
Yeah, and this is the judgment that's written. Recompense upon the heathen nations. Recompense upon the so-called white people who so heathen. Because the Lord hates you and such an apple in his eye.
Dishonor and all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, we're praising the Lord this day, and we're going to praise him forevermore in the kingdom of heaven. Because he brings forth recompense from the heathen.
So I got a precept. This is Exodus chapter Ezekiel chapter 39 verse 12 no, verse 14. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury the pastures, those that remain upon the face of the earth.
It's going to be non-stop working in heathen nations. We're going to be picking up a lot of dead bodies. Those that be cremated in this destruction in the near future, you're going to be picking up those bodies. But it's going to be continued labor for the heathen nations, starting with you, so people and so for white people.
It says, the pastures, those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it, and after 7 years, after 7 months, they shall search in the pastures that pass by through the land with any seed of man's bones. They shall be set up a sign by the diet to the buried have buried it in the valley of Hamilton.
Oh, got another one. Got another one. I'm saying that when he set the sign, you know, he see the bone. Look,
Got another one.
over there. Bone over there. Bury that shit.
Yeah, the scriptures tell you that the slain of the Lord shall be from one end perfectly to the other.
That's Jeremiah 33, Jeremiah 25 verse 33.
So there's going to be a lot of dead bodies when the Lord returns. We got you.
I got so real quick. It's Psalm 32 verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Yeah, and the heathen are your enemies. The enemies of the Israelites. So-called white men, starting with them first. They imagine the vain things. But they imagine that their kingdom is going to prosper forever. They got the so-called Chinese, which are the Moabites. They think they're the next in rulership. But the next ones to be in rulership is the nation of Israel.
Says the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh.
Yeah, so the Lord's gonna laugh because these heathens got it fucked up. They think that this kingdom, Esau, Edom think his kingdom gonna be established forever. So-called Chinese think that they're gonna be the next rulership. When Yahweh Shem Shah got something for them. The next thing to come is the kingdom of heaven. And you heathen nations are gonna be in rule. You're gonna be in shackles. You're gonna be slaves. You're gonna be men servants and women servants.
The heaven shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in Jerusalem. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy mountain. It says, and I will declare the decree, the Lord has said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Heathen, which are starting with Esau and so-called white men, you're going to be our possession. Heritage means possessed. You're going to belong to us. You're going to be our servants. You're going to be our slaves in the kingdom of heaven. And after you serve in captivity, you're going to be wiped away off the face of the land.
That king is talking about the house of God. And you know, we're heirs to the house of God. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the othermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
So we're going to possess the entire universe. Not only are we going to have planet Earth, we're going to have other different galaxies and planets. Because the scriptures tell you that in my father's house are many mansions. Those mansions represents the different planets. And it's going to we're going to populate the entire Earth. We're going to have to go to other planets. Because we're going to be fruitful and multiply. As the elder as the elder brother said, that king represents our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach. We're going to be joint heirs because we suffer with him, we're a woman. So we're going to get that same piece of the pie, the kingdom of heaven.
Now I was saying there's fucking underground islands underneath, underneath the earth, man. So it's going to be amazing, man.
It's going to be it's going to be a different type of vibration.
Obadiah chapter 1, and we'll start at verse 15. It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
Yeah, the day of the Lord is upon all the heathen nations, starting with Esau, Edom, so-called white men. And he returned into the Edomite rulership. And that day of the Lord is not going to be a day of peace. It's going to be a day of violence, a day of bloodshed, a day of distress, a day of pain and suffering, a day of death. For 2/3 of the nation of Israel will be heathen nations.
It says, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
So as thou hast done to the nation of Israel, the absolute Lord is high, guess what? Recompense is going to be brought upon you. This is all justice. This is true reparation. The God of Israel bringing forth vengeance upon the heathen nations.
It says, thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
So your reward is going to be bloodshed. The Lord's about to bring forth judgment, great wrath upon the heathen nations.
It says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain,
Yeah, now holy mountain represents Israel.
so shall all the heathen drink continually.
Yeah, all the heathen will drink continually, because the Lord's going to take the cup of wrath out of our hands and put it into the hands of the enemies, which are heathen nations. We want to drink continually. Psalm 75th chapter says we want to drink the dregs thereof. So you're going to drink that last bit. You're going to have the potency of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shah.
It says, yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down.
Yeah, you're going to drink, you're going to swallow down that great wrath, and that wrath is coming with destruction and captivity.
And they shall be as though they had not been.
Yeah, they shall be as though they have not been. These heathen nations are going to be brought at the lowest. They're going to be exalted and they're going to be brought down very low. They're going to be, the scripture says, they're going to make our enemies our footstool. So they're about to be humble, they're about to be brought down low. Esau, Edom about to become the bases of men like he is.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
This is Zion on the mountain.
And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession.
We're going to be in the righteous kingdom. The Lord is about to establish righteousness upon the universe.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire,
In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, right?
and the house of Joseph a flame,
Which represents both southern and northern kingdom.
and the house of Esau for stubble.
Yeah, they're going to be stubble because they're going to be cremated after they serve their 1,000-year captivity. Thus say Yahweh Hashem Shah. Because they're not going to get away from all the atrocities they have done to the Lord's people. They got to pay. That's why the scripture says, he that killeth the sword shall die by the sword. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So this is the judgment that's written for you Edomites. You're going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Thus say Yahweh Hashem Shah.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them.
We're going to devour them. We're going to consume you in the fire. It's going to be by spiritual power. It's going to be through the power of Yahweh Hashem Shah.
And there shall not be any remaining
Yeah, there ain't going to be no remainder
of the house of Esau.
Yeah, so ain't going to be not one infant Edomite on the face of the earth.
That's right.
It says, for the Lord hath spoken it.
Yeah, it's the Lord that's spoken. We're just the messengers. We give you the judgment. We're preaching what's written in the Holy Scriptures.
Oh yeah, I got some real quick. This is Daniel chapter 14, Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. And I saw the night vision and behold, one like the son of man.
Here's so the prophet Daniel, so a prophecy. I think it's a prophecy of some King Yehoshua Mashiach.
Came in the clouds of heaven.
The clouds are symbolic to the holy chariots. The scripture tell you in Psalm 68:17, they come with thousands and thousands of angels. Revelation 1 and 7 say they come with clouds.
It says, and came to the Ancient of Days.
Ancient of Days is talking about the Most High Yahweh, who the word in the God. Right?
And they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion.
Dominion is going to rulership, control. So our Lord is giving dominion to the entire universe, to all creation. Right?
It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
Yeah, everyone's going to serve our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach. All knees are going to bow down to Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And if the heathens don't bow down to our King, he's going to be destroyed. We're going to shed your blood.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion.
Meaning it's forever. Because each kingdom, each heathen, they all had a specific time to rule. But the kingdom that's coming in the near future is going to be everlasting. It's going to be forever and ever. Billions of years. Trillions of years.
Which shall not pass away.
We shall not pass away, because it's not going to be another power, another nation to come and take us out of power. We're going to be, the Yahweh Shah is going to be with us.
Now you see that brother says during the third year, they got something called a Google. That's what the number what they're doing. The kingdom is going in that. The kingdom never going in, man.
The days of eternity.
And the days of eternity is never going to be.
It's really going to be a billion years old. And we don't.
Imagine at that time, almost the universe will be stretched out. And the universe is endless. Let me finish this one. It says, and his dominion is the everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Yeah, the kingdom of heaven is never going to be destroyed. Because the God of all creation is going to be with us.
And the second covenant
Yep.
is going to be upon every Israelite man, woman, and child. So, sin is what caused us to go off in the first place. And we ain't never going to sin again when that new covenant is upon us.
Isaiah 54 verse 2. Enlarge the place of thy tent.
Right, enlarge the place of that tent. The tent is going to It's going to enlarge the place of your tent. And you're going to make your dwelling place far great, right? Far wide, right?
And let them stretch forth the curtains of God's habitation.
Right, stretch forth the curtains of your habitation. You got curtains in your house. You stretch forth the curtains. Stretching the forward, making it greater and greater, wide and wide, bigger and bigger. Right?
It says, spare not, lengthen thy cords and straighten thy stakes.
Lifting the cords and strengthening thy stakes, like a tent. A tent like a stake, just put in the ground, big cords that they take and they
to the ground, get the cord, tie it to a stake, and hammer it to the ground.
Shall break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited.
So our seed is going to break forth from the right and to the left. And you're going to extend. And our seed going to possess the Gentiles. And you're going to populate those streets that are desolate, like the land of Israel. You're going to be completely destroyed, but guess what? You're going to populate that land. And guess what? Nothing's going to happen from the day that we're going to live in that.
I got real quick. I want to take that.
That's it.
It's 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 40. Then said he unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people. So the Lord got that great love that He's promised unto Israel. You know, we have an idea of what it is, but really we're going to see what it is when we're on the other side. Because if you go into the book of Isaiah 65, the 4th chapter, it tells you, I have not seen, ear have not heard. You know, oh Lord, what thou hast promised.
Like, I always love to
paraphrase.
like lots of
But going into what the other brother was breaking down in Isaiah, you know, the Lord is showing you a glimpse of the greatness that He's going to put upon you. You know, meaning, you know, enlarging your tents, enlarging your kin, your sons, your daughters, everybody. Israel is going to spread out, man. You know, we're going to walk down with 100,000 sons. They're all going to hold their name, bro. And they all going to respect you, man. You know, from the first to the last, they're all going to respect you. All going to be young, bro. You're going to look 21 forever.
That's why we're going to be rejoicing Yahweh Shema Shah every day, like every few seconds, every second. Body Yahweh Shema Shah.
Isaiah 49 and 20. The children which thou shalt have, Isaiah 49 and 20. The children which thou shalt have, after thou hast lost the other, shall say again in thy ears, the place is too straight for me, give place to me that I may dwell. Now, we go into the G&T, the same chapter, verse Isaiah 49 and 20. The people who were born in exile will one day say to you, this land is too small. We need more room to live in.
What scripture is that?
Isaiah 49 and 20.
There you go. That's what scripture I'm thinking. Now let's link that up with Isaiah 14, John 14 and 2.
Alright, bro, we got a lot to look forward to, man.
Yeah, man.
That's why, you know, this sacrifice right now is well worth it. At the end of the day, you know, like, glad I did that. Glad I did that, man. You know, praise God, watching y'all shot, keeping us on this.
Rubber athletes, you got niggas in the street banging for stupid street sign. Color is made in China. And again, we doing it for Yahweh Shema Shah.
Right. St. John chapter 14 and verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Yeah. Ye believe in the Most High. Believe also in me. Believe in the Most High. Believe in me as well. Believe in the Most High. In my Father's house are many mansions. Now, the Most High's house is the heavens. In this house there's many mansions, beautiful mansions. So in my Father's house there's many mansions. Guess what? You got angels in heaven. You got, in other words, the angels, those spiritual beings whose sole purpose is to be messengers to the Most High. But then you got the people that are deceased in there too. So guess what? The Most High's house is many mansions. There's many other places. Right? It says, if it were not so, I would have told you. If it was not so, I would have told you. In other words, these things I'm saying, Christ said, don't let your heart be troubled. Believe in the Most High, believe in me also. He's telling you, if these things are not so, I would have told you. In other words, I wouldn't have had you make all these sacrifices to follow me if all the things I'm telling you were true. My Father's house is truly our living in. Right? Our go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself.
So y'all start going to prepare a place for us. If you get that place today, he's going to come back. He's going to receive us. And that's the only way. So the people that have been really already prepared for it. Everything is already laid in place. And you can't wait. You let the one of them in Genesis 49 chapter. Something's going to come. And it's not going to be enough space for us. You know what I was saying? So-called white man and other people on earth can't look at you without the power of those out. They think that this planet is just up there just like the people. Look at that Mars. They just did. Look at the neighbor.
Nobody.
Like art, huh?
Like nobody gonna be on it.
Exactly. Like one of them, you know, one of them skip wrestler movies. People looking at an art gallery, looking at them stupid ass pictures that don't make no damn sense. Oh wow, that's somebody too fake. And that's the most about playing with people. You know what it is? Oh no, it's playing right there. But anyway, no, they're there for a reason. It says that where I am, there ye may be also. And where your house is, there ye may be also. Guess what? He's going to encourage the people ahead. And that's the thing that Jake don't understand. Jake thinks that this is just the end all be though. Like for the time that people going to be debating who's better than MJ or wrong. For all eternity, like 1,000 years from now. That shit ain't gonna fucking exist if not me up. It's damn basketball. I mean, King, how do you think about that? They ain't gonna be YouTube in the King, man. You can't wait, man. What are you going out in?
Revelation 19, verse 12. His eyes were as a flame. Revelation 19 and 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire.
Yeah, his eyes are as a flame of fire. You heard the phrase? He got a fiery look in his eyes. So he got like a fiery look. Fiery eyes. Because you know, he's in the spirit right there. So he's not drunk. He's not completely well. He's still was drunk. So that's why his eyes are red. He got like a piercing look in his eyes. Right?
And on his head were many crowns.
And on his head were many crowns. Now, does that mean that Yahushua, they're performing the balance and act with crowns on his head? He's sitting there. No. He's not moving on the head. No. On his head were many crowns because crowns represent foolishness. So on his head were many crowns because why? Yahushua took their own king of the earth. And he had placed the crown upon his head. He became the king of all those kings, the Lord of all those lords. Right? He knew all those lords. Right?
And he had a name written that no man knew but himself.
Right?
And he was clothed with the vesture dipped in blood. And his name,
Isaiah 63, go ahead.
and his name is called the Word of the Most High.
Go ahead. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nation.
Yeah, it's from David from the church.
And he shall rule them
The
with
word too. Go ahead.
he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he tread up the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty
I
God.
said the rod of iron, but that's an unchallenged rulership.
Yeah.
You know, that's an unchallenged rulership. You can't comprehend or begin to imagine how powerful that rulership is going to be.
Exactly. And you know how you could prove that? Remember you had the Stone Age, then the time you had the Bronze Age, then you had the Iron Age. That was a higher age than all the others. Because iron is more powerful, it's stronger. So if you got a wooden stick and I got an iron pipe, who gonna win that battle? Because man, who's gonna win that battle? Hey, come on. The fucking iron pipe. Yeah. It's like if you go on a wooden ladder, because you know in construction you're not supposed to have no wooden ladders on job sites. It's not safe.
Or aluminum.
Huh?
Or aluminum.
Or aluminum. It's doing that in real metal. So he gonna have an iron. Do that again?
Yep. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
He's gonna rule them with a rod of iron. That's the unchallenged rulership. You got the Stone Age, you
You got the Bronze Age. You got the Iron Age. The Age of Iron is more powerful than the rest. So if you got an iron pipe and you got a damn stick in your hand, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You know, you ever watch those when the karate school growing up? They got the wooden swords. Those wooden swords don't do nothing compared to those damn actual swords. Or them swords you had a bamboo. Man. And guess what we're gonna do with that right eye? We told you we're gonna take a chapter, we're gonna smash it over your head until you die. You're gonna crash over your head. It's the king of heaven gonna be about to be a bloody king. They're gonna be the fool, gonna be the king of heaven, God's day, finally. And you're gonna have Jake walking around, sitting Indian style in grass. Like it's gonna be like a fucking, like it's gonna be like kind of like fucking vegan festival or some shit. Like it's gonna be kind of hippie festival. King of heaven, hell no, man. You can be beating people like that. That's the right. The king of heaven. Every time you turn around, king of heaven, smell how you brain the hell cut. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
They shut up conquest of the business and wrath of the Almighty power.
That goes down there. That's what goes to the nation.
And he have on his vesture and on his guide
So on his garment, man,
a name written.
because in the ancient world, you'll have certain rulers, and they'll have like their title on their garment. Like the person might be general or colonel in real terms, sergeant, staff sergeant, staff sergeant, whatever. So for Lord's garment, go ahead.
King of kings and Lord of lords.
That's what it said. That's what you have on the crowns and said. Go on.
And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice,
Now
saying,
stop right there. He said I saw an angel standing in the sun. Now wait a minute. The sun has a great magnificent light. So if you see an angel standing in the sun, that means that angel's brighter than the sun. Right?
You to see him, he has to be.
That means that angel got to be brighter than the sun. If you see a bright ass light, you're not just gonna see some, in objects in that light. Especially if it's in the sun. You know what I'm saying? So if that angel's in the midst of the sun, I mean that angel has to be super bright, man.
You can't even stare at the sun.
You can't even stare at the sun. You know? So if you look in the sky and see a chariot that's in the sun and it has an exceeding light, that means it's like a bright, man. Right?
Yep. And I saw an angel standing.
That shows you the Most High's power. Like you can't fathom it. You can't fathom it, man. There's so much stuff out there in space and film some of different elements that we still know nothing about. We still know nothing about.
We're just learning about new animals on the fucking planet. We
Yeah.
have no doubt.
Yeah.
How the hell can we comprehend anything beyond our planet?
Exactly. Man, look, man, the king of heaven, man, we're gonna have all kinds of abilities, man. We're gonna be under the water, breathing without gills.
Hey, but say earlier, you're gonna live like fucking opposite.
Because you could be under the water and you could be able to separate, because we breathe oxygen.
Yeah.
You could, water is made out of hydrogen and oxygen. You could be underwater breathing, but your spiritual power is supposed to separate the oxygen from the hydrogen, let you be able to breathe under the water. You know what I'm saying? You'll go in the water, you'll come out and you won't even be wet.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh, perfect example. When the children was in the furnace and it was burning, then they said, "You put paint in it, it all came out." They said not even the smell of smoke was on their
Yeah.
breath. So this is back what the saying.
You can't even imagine that. I mean, so, man, King of Heaven will be something up there, brother.
Right? Verse 17, Revelation 19 chapter. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of the heaven, come and gather yourselves together into the supper of the great power,
Go ahead. I'm going to it, man.
that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains.
And that's what happens. What happens in a war when the people are dead? The birds come and they feed off the corpse. So it's going to be a feast. All the stories going to be a feast. And you're going to law and the angels and the responsible for their death. But you're going to have actual birds that's going to devour the corpse. You know?
They're not gonna be buried right away.
Hell no.
It's gonna be a time so we have to gather everybody up to go fucking bury them.
That goes right into Ezekiel.
Exactly.
That goes right. Right, that's what you go to the YouTube boom. Revelation 19. Yeah, that's what that goes into. You gotta feel they tell you you're gonna have sons and go and put signs. You know earlier, some are gonna do guns. So that means you're gonna have to have some professional jurial people do that. You gotta think about it. Who knows? It might be radioactive.
Yeah.
It's gonna be radioactive bones. Radioactive remains, man. Okay.
In the flesh of the mighty men, in the flesh of horses, and of them that sat on them, in the flesh of all men, free and bond, both small and great.
Wait a minute, both free and bond. Small and great. That means people that got the chip. They were gonna die. Yeah, even right now, the first thing they had a chip was the Jacob thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Jacob thing. Come on, man. Y'all people out there with the chip, we gonna die. Okay?
Verse 19. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his
Kings of the earth. They gathered together as a force. Go ahead.
and the beast was
Right,
taken.
the second entrance. Second entrance is that 13th chapter.
And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him.
Now, that false prophet is the beast from one NATO. EU. Don't forget the treaty organization, European Union. How do we know that? Now, oh no, the beast from Roman Empire. Well, yeah, the ancient Roman Empire was dug into a beast. We go to the 7th chapter. But if you look at a map of the ancient Roman Empire and the EU, European Union, you'll see it's the same area. So it's nothing more than the European Union, the Roman Empire lobby. And it said, the fourth prophet, somebody was supposed to go to the church. But there's a lot of these religions, no Catholic church, any go to church. A lot of these religions do not go to Catholic church. Right?
And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet.
Right? Yeah. Something that was 13.
And with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him.
I got it. 13 and 8. So go back to where it said they join together. You. Go back to where it said they join together to fight against the Lord.
Revelation 19:17, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of the heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great house.
I think it's verse 7. Is that 7? 6? Right before we read the beast. Right? Verse from there.
Revelation 19:19. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army.
That's somebody I was telling. When you look at the chapter, Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 5. After this, I beheld the Lord. They were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven. To some, that's the same thing. Right? To subdue a man that came out of the sea. Meaning what? That came out of the sky. Heaven. But I get this, man. We gotta take it down. Right? It says, but I beheld the Lord. He had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. So he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. So as you can see how it sounded in China with the world thinking before UFOs, they said that was a great mountain that was carved out of earth. Right? He was flying up. Okay? But I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was brazen. So the hill was mountain. I was for the place where it came from. So he looked around him, he didn't see a hill, he didn't see no great holes in the earth. You know, he picked up a rock, hit the ground when he was a kid, a child, and it's like a little indentation in the ground from where the rock was. So like a footprint of snow. He would have saw something like that, but he didn't see it. So he wasn't actually a mountain. But what he was doing, it looked like it was looking at his God in the mountain. And if Yahushua is coming out of the heavens on a chariot, then it's got to be enormous. Like, man, it got to be big. Man. You can't
That's what I'm looking right now. Yeah, I'm looking at this building like, imagine that building just, nah.
If you ever stood in front of the Twin Towers, or like the new building, the new towers, the Freedom Tower. That's why how big it was.
bigger than that.
Bigger than that.
Yeah, the chariot.
You know, the scriptures speak about in 2nd Ezra, in the 8th chapter, it speaks about the Lord having and just like the people of Israel. You can't number us. You know, so imagine all of those angels. What y'all always try? That's the art. All the angels will come back, right? Yeah. You know? So it got stuff, man. You can't even imagine things that these prophets are.
Now I checked on Google. The largest ship, right? The largest ship is it's called the CY9. It's 1,504 feet. Now that's bigger than the World Trade. The World Trade was 1,100 feet. That's 400 feet longer. And it's how big is it? 6,500. Huh? 19 tons. You count that by 2,000, it's like 100 million pounds. That's the rest. Yeah. This brings you 667,019 tons. That's huge, man. I hope they don't speak that. People give it up. But guess what? That ain't nothing. The largest structure in the world is going to be fine. Man-made structure is that ain't nothing. 2.5 one place. That ain't nothing. This right here, it's going to be bigger than, even bigger than, it ain't bigger than imagine.
More.
Huh?
More. That's the they calling it like a ship that just came out of nowhere. It's this big.
Yeah, it's going to come out of another dimension, man.
Yeah.
It's going to keep going and going and going. It's going to be like something coming out of a vortex and like it just don't stop. Like it just keeps going no matter what. It's like it's like you ever go to the train station? The train station is damn long. And when it comes to this, you go train car, what the hell is going to stop? That's how it's going to be. It's going to come out of another dimension. It's going to just keep going and going and going. Like it's going to keep, it's going to be like this. Look, see how the camera is? See how my hand is moving past the camera right now? But it's never going to stop.
You probably won't get to see the end before the
You probably won't get to see that. Who knows, man? It's going to be enormous, man. Yeah, bro. That's what we're doing. That's what we're saying.
Elder.
Yeah. Yep. Every eye shall see it. And mind you, everybody got a smartphone nowadays. Everybody got TV, smart this, smart that in their house. So it's gonna be televised. You know what I'm saying? Also, that people gonna be looking up. They're gonna be seeing it on their phone. And you know everything that fucking happens nowadays. The motherfucker pull his phone out.
Yeah. They're going live.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody,
Exactly.
every eye shall see it. You know,
Exactly.
you see why.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 16, verse 14.
And we can't wait.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it should no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I have given to their fathers. Here we go.
Oh man.
Second Ezra 13, verse 7. It says, but I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not. After this I beheld the Lord, all day which were gathered together to
And when the Lord come back, they go in that damn Catholic church.
You know, through him with that. Go ahead. That's go ahead, man. Go hear it screaming. It laser sound. It's laser even make a sound.
Sound like a fucking man's heart exploded.
Yeah. Yeah. People gonna be scared, man. I'm telling you, we're gonna be scared, brother. We gonna be scared.
Yeah.
Huh?
Let me be scared.
Yeah.
I said they were fighting for their glory.
You're right.
Yeah, they barely gonna make it. They don't think it's that.
I don't understand. I'm sorry. We haven't seen this one else. Like, we don't remember how he looked when he was in the spirit. But he took that from us. We saw the glory of him now. We'll drop dead. You know? So to see, to speak about it, but to actually see it is a different thing, bro. Like, it's a different force, bro. You know how you can, you sense certain things. People can read spirits, man.
Yeah.
When you get a reading on that spirit, like, Dragon Ball, the Scholars explode, your spiritual awareness will go crazy,
The
man.
brain gonna explode.
Yeah, our brain gonna explode. Like that was Fist of the North Star.
Oh, yeah.
He used to touch the dude, right? He used to fight the dude, he'll block all the hits. And then he'd be like, the dude like, where you think you're going? He'd be like, you're already dead. Well, yeah, that's what's gonna happen to y'all. You don't have that power, man. You're gonna touch this right here in his neck, and you'll tell the blood circulation, then his head's gonna get bigger and bigger and it's blow up, right? It says, they're so afraid, yes, Durst fight. They gonna be scared, but they gonna, Durst means dead. D-R-S-T, but Durst fight. So they're gonna be afraid, but they still wanna fight, because the most time gonna put that spirit on. Right? It says, lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword. So he's not going to punch anybody, he's not going to pick up a sword, nor any instrument of war. Nope. No axe, no mallet, nope. Mace, nope. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they, that means what? It's going to be really giants, what? It's going to be a flame, like a fiery stream. And it's going to just incinerate everything. Like, that's in his path. So, like, you know how Cyclops get when the pain from his eyes?
Oh, yeah.
And he gets like an uncontrollable beam of energy?
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy out here, right? It says, and they will all mix together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, all combined. It will be a blast of fire, what? It says, a blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. So all those things combined. We started from the fire and the spirit came out. We started seeing things being blown away like it was a tempest. That's what it was, man. Fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, everyone. Everybody's gonna die. That's it. Everybody's gonna die. You see people, bodies cut in half, heads off.
Some of them won't kill themselves, bro.
Some of them will kill themselves.
Kill themselves.
Saying that. And they're gonna crash. They're gonna crash. They jet into the mountain and die.
You remember there's an ad they call one dude was that he was a character at the game. But his power was he could make his countenance so fierce that his enemies won't look at them and they start killing mutilating themselves because of how horrific it was. And so the horrific sight of what these people are gonna see, remember back in Egypt, when you read about it in Wisdom of Solomon, the Lord was causing men's hearts to fail. People are fucking dying from heart attacks, man, all the things that they're hearing and seeing, man. So imagine when you see a great city, that people are just gonna want you to see. They're gonna turn that fucking 8K or whatever gun they got on themselves.
Yeah. They're gonna kill themselves. They're gonna kill themselves. It says, so that upon the sudden of the unmovable multitude, nothing was to be perceived. Nothing. Okay? But only dust and smell of smoke. That's it. I mean, they're gonna be right. They're gonna be just straight up vaporized.
Then the Lord say in the songs that he'll
People gonna be vaporized, man. Like, you saw, watch the movie and like, you saw him with a beam of energy with his clothes left. Everything gonna be gone. Everything is gonna be, that's it.
great, man.
When
If you
I
don't
saw
know
this,
this, you don't know it's supernatural. You ain't gonna be thinking, oh, he's what? You mean something new? They ain't gonna be giving no credit to no research. You're gonna be like, yo, man, that's a God, even God,
God of Israel.
the God of Israel. Right? The God of the Bible, man. Yeah. And everybody gonna crack their pants.
when I saw this, I was
Afraid
afraid.
themselves, crack their pants, throw up on themselves. Yeah.
Is it actually he was afraid?
Yeah. More than that.
It says, afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain and called unto him another peaceable multitude.
On the left. Right?
And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were orphaned.
Your life is gonna be slaves, man. And you're not gonna be happy. You got something that's gonna be sad. You're gonna have something that's gonna get better. That's what you saw. That goes to Revelation, the second chapter. All of the nations gonna be taken down, they're gonna be under us.
Well, then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said,
That's it. And that's what happened, man. So we are going, when that time comes, so we're going to be killing you. The outside's going to, you can't wait for that day, man. The Most High going to defend anybody that ever talks crap to the common boys. Most High is going to give us that certain power to know who you are. You know, all hell break loose, and you got people driving cars, the cars are crashing. You know, people in the bank about to kill themselves. You know how to split the car. Somebody that wrote a comment on your video, April 19th, 2009, they in there with a gun, you gonna kill themselves. Go in there and kill them first. And you gonna pop in there, oh, you got your gun job. And they're gonna turn their arm into a blade. I'm not even gonna cut you at them, I'm gonna cut you like this. You know what I'm saying? Cut you open like in two pieces like that.
I was thinking about that earlier when you mentioned there's going to be a lot of killings in the kingdom. And the real big part of the reason is we still going to remember.
Yeah.
Two motherfuckers did this. I mean, we going to remember it always, but it's still going to be fresh in our heads. Wait a minute, this motherfucker got that crack that fire.
When the Most High give me the power, you know I'm gonna cut you double niggas up. I'm gonna cut you like this. You know what happens? This part of your head gonna go where his head was at. And his head gonna go to the other guy's head, and this part of your chin, that's how it's gonna be. It's like clean. That's how you'll be looking all mixed up.
Yeah, like Lord.
This part of your head gonna be on his where his part of the head used to be at. This part of your nose gonna be over here. This gonna be all jacked up. You're gonna be looking all fucked up, man. You can't wait. Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Just like that. You're gonna mess some crackers up. Want that?
Right. Revelations 19, verse 20. And the beast was taken with him with false prophet that brought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast.
Yeah. So those that got the mark of the beast, they were deceived. They really thought that, you know, with the advanced technology, this is gonna be the new thing. You better be able to buy and sell if you have this mark. And they were deceived. Because you know why? They thought they believed. You say they're the most popular shit in the kind of life. Because the most power is lying, they thought they chose to believe what we still saying and also maintain the scripture. So they were deceived to believe that the market would be something that they needed to sustain in their life. When really it was just how much they got. Right?
Right. And them that worship his image, these both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone.
So those that worship the system, new order, government structure, guess what? They're going to be in a lake of fire burning with brimstone. You know what? America is a lake of fire. So we still go Bible scholars. Everywhere is a lake of fire but America. Every nation's in the Bible but America. Oh yeah, you got Roman there, you got Egypt there, you got Grecian there, you got Persian there. Everybody's in there except us. We need to tell them the so-called greatest country that ever exists. This is the most powerful country ever. The prophets of the Most High, the ones that I don't like them anymore.
Come on, man. All these empires that's no longer around. You gonna say, oh, yeah, the Assyrian, Egyptian empire. So the most of the Egyptian empire Assyrian rule. Oh no, this book was written in that time. But nothing that you can do now. Come on, man. That's all right.
No more. When the remnant was slain with the sword of him and sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the bowels were filled with their flesh. There you go.
You got it right.
So then, I guess we can go in Joel 3, because before these events take place,
Huh? Yes.
before these events take place, there has to be a major global conflict between the nations. We'll start at Joel 3.
Who's that? Now?
That's yours, right?
Yeah, that's the case.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 1. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Because, the brother excellence brought out how he detailed how the Lord will return. We got to understand that the reason why the Lord is returning is because he's coming back to redeem the nation of Israel out of captivity. This will be the second exodus of the true Israelites. Because the world is under a deception that the people in the land of Israel right now, which is known as the Israeli state, or the Jewish Zionist people, is the true people of the Bible. That's not true. These people on the side is the nation of Israel. So the Lord will be returning to redeem or to save the children of Israel. Give me Matthew 1.
This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and
So
Jerusalem.
when they said bring again, meaning bring back what's redeemer, right? Because Israel, Judah, and Jerusalem, all 12 tribes is currently in captivity, right?
It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Now we understand that the valley of Jehoshaphat is primarily located in the Middle East. Now, you go into Hebrew, is Yahweh Shaphat, meaning the Heavenly Father's judgment. Yahweh being the name of the Lord, Shaphat meaning judgment or decision. You see? So as you can see, if you've been under a rock and you ain't been knowing what's going on, this whole thing is really brewing up in the Middle East. Especially with Iran, the Iranian armies, the Saudis dumping the backing of the American dollar, okay, the BRICS nation, which is Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, and South America. Yeah, India, which is a non-official part of BRICS, but it is. Is it? Yeah. I think it's Iran. Oh, and India, China, South Africa. That's right. So these nations are picking sides and coming against the Great War, which is America, right? Challenging America's hegemony. All right? Go ahead.
It says, and will plead with them there for my people.
Now, when he say plead, he don't mean to beg. He mean to judge. Because y'all got a lot of crimes y'all got to pay for. You see? So, in this place, he's going to judge the nations round about for the atrocities that's been done to our people. You see? Continue on.
It says, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land.
How they scatter us in colonialism and transatlantic slave trade. You can look, this is documented history. This happened to the 12 tribes of Israel. So as a result, the Lord is bringing these nations in the land. Now you got Russia, Russia versus Ukraine. America is losing. America is losing its strength. Just the other day, it sent missiles to Ukraine, to, I guess, for Ukraine to go on the offensive against Russia, and Russia found the location and bombed it. Billions of dollars of tax money literally disappeared. All right, so these nations are gearing up for World War III. All right, so before the Lord comes back, this has to happen. Give me,
This is Amos chapter 1, verse 11. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Wayahshua, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
yeah, you notice all these quote-unquote scholars that come up against the Israelites, they never want to touch on the topic of Esau or Edom. They always dance around it. No, Esau's an extension of, you know, the Jewish, but they've been done away with a long time ago. But if you go on the Bible dictionary, Esau, Edom is, if you got it. Yeah, it said, if you got the John, it's a lot. Because, yeah, no, you got it, Edom, give me what I want. Because we know that the Bible tells everything that happens on earth, but in it, and only the servants know. So he does anything.
This is Edom. Specifically,
This is a Bible dictionary, Zondervan, compact Bible dictionary, right? So certain words you might want to look into. You should definitely invest in that. So this is going to speak about Edom. Edom was Esau, and then Edom became the people, the Edomites.
in certain words, clarify the situation. This is Edom. Figuratively, primarily, prominently,
Figures,
prominently in the prophetic scriptures.
All right, so prophetic means something that was supposed to happen in the future, right?
As the scene of a great future judgment.
Right, scene of great future judgments. Judgments, because they're not just gonna get one judgment. They got multiple judgments coming. Right?
See, notably,
Isaiah 34 and 5.
Isaiah 34 and 5 and
Verse
6,
6.
and
Isaiah 63 and 1.
and 63 and 1.
You can hold that down too. Continue. But these are the judgments. That's prophetic judgment that's supposed to be called Esau Edom. So he called for Isaiah 34, 5 and 6. And then Isaiah 63 and 1. So just hold it. Right?
She is the only neighbor of the Israelites
The only neighbor of the Israelites, right?
who was not given any promise of mercy.
We gotta do a little different.
That's right.
You read that little
All right.
Like you weren't trying to say it.
No.
Raise your voice a little.
I got you. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from Yahweh.
That's right, man. So he saw Edom. Now we understand that they fit prophetic judgments was the only nation or the neighbor of the Israelites that wasn't promised any mercy from the Heavenly Father. That's right. They're going to be the only nation on the out. Sounds familiar. This is Isaiah chapter 34. Isaiah.
I got to read it in prophetic. Accurately describing or predicting what will happen in the future. Prophetic. It says accurately describing or predicting what will happen in the future.
So if I say at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, a Jeep Wrangler black is gonna get hit by a car, and it happens, that's prophecy. I prophesied that was prophetic, meaning you actually said that something that's supposed to happen in the future. So we're gonna detail a scripture that's gonna happen in the future. And that's why all these quote unquote Bible scholars don't want to harp on the so-called white man being them, Esau Edom. Because I got a lot of shit I gotta pay for, man. They got the Charlatans when they have the Gadites. You walk, well, how many miles? 150, 200 miles across, I forgot what state that was, in a desert color. You come, you break, and you rob people. Slavery. Yeah, made a holiday every year. Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got a lot to pay for, man. Taking out women, separating the children, raping your wife and giving her back to you. Yeah, you got a lot. Yeah, selling you. I got a lot of paper. Y'all walk around here blissfully happy that shit is not. You're like, y'all ain't do that. You meet on Champion Spring, Supreme my girl. You know what's happening?
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 4.
Because right now, as you can see, all these nations are like America's the problem. It is not talking about the American so-called black or Hispanic people. They're talking about the white man. The American white man primarily is the problem. He is the problem on earth. He dealing treacherously with you. He is sanctioning your country. He causing riots. He causing women to wear mini skirts with their titties working out with no bra on. Yeah, he caused feminism, whoredoms amongst the women. This is the white man doing. So all these nations have figured out the white man's the problem. You see? The child to be a homosexual. That's the problem. So now they really getting to go to war with America.
It's Isaiah chapter 34, verse 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved.
Yeah.
And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
Now this is what Isaiah is seeing. He's seeing a scroll. Prior to the Bible being a book, it was literally a roll of scroll. Like when we had a Passover, you had to open up the scroll. Now if you look at it, it literally looks like Isaiah seeing the nuclear missile detonation going off, and it looked like a scroll rolled together. A long, thin, kind of bulky at the bottom and bulky at the top, and thin in the middle. That was the ground zero of the nuclear bomb going on. This was Isaiah was seeing.
It says, and all their hosts shall fall down.
But notice when we went into Zondervan quoted this prophecy. So meaning this is pertaining to Esau Edom.
It says, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
So after the redemption and the deliverance of the nation of Israel, these nuclear missiles going to hit ground zero. Y'all going to get wiped off the face of the earth. Right now, I forget what state it was. Every other day is a drag queen show. They're trying to normalize men in dresses or sex changes for little kids. This is Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. And you gotta work with them. You gotta smile with them, you gotta smile their fucking face. If not, you can get fired. They make your life hard as hell. This is Sodom and Gomorrah, and this is exactly what God is saying in the same fashion.
Esau's tired of living in the closet. So all of Esau's innermost desires, he bringing it out to the forefront.
That's all it is.
Esau wanna go on lunch break and play dress up like a little girl, dress like a princess for an hour. So now he want everybody to do that. Now if you got a problem with that, if you look at these fucking black bitches, what's going on with faggots? If you don't do the faggot shit. That goes show how dumb these fucking bitches are, man. They're going to say you're not a real man, but they're going to support men that don't want to be men but want to be men. Fucking black fucking bitches. Fucking black bitches.
You niggas that they call me and Simone baggage because we was like, we ain't down with fucking, like, they was down with sharing the pit together.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't doing that shit.
You a faggot.
You're some faggots.
What the fuck you mean, you faggots, nigga? Some faggot shit y'all doing, man. Sharing the pit.
Disgusting.
Live from Sodom and Gomorrah.
And how about I'll try to say, he doesn't want to share his woman. Right. Okay? And it's like, what's that scripture that said that the man goes to another man's wife, he's not supposed to go back into her?
Shutting out that land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the same thing.
Well, you're not even supposed to uncover another man's nakedness. Yeah. Not even your father. Yeah. That was the curse that came from him. Yeah. You know, but nevertheless.
If I was in the world, I never wanted to be about somebody. I got a verse. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And their bodies.
Because, you know, these people are dumb as hell. They can't see that we in Sodom and Gomorrah. You can't see it.
Right. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And their bodies will lie in the street of the great city.
Right. Now, we're talking about Israel. Their bodies, according to dry bones, Ezekiel. Yeah, meaning they lack knowledge of who they are. So their dead bodies go ahead. That's right.
Which spiritually
is lying in the great
lie in the great city, which is spiritually
called because it's not the physical place. We're not physically in Sodom anymore. We're not physically spiritually called Sodom,
which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
So we're not in these physical places. But we embody all the things that ancient Sodom. But the place that we currently live in, America, aka America, embodies the things that happen in Sodom, and it also embodies the things that happen in Egypt. What happened in Sodom? It was Sodom. Okay, a whole bunch of homosexual acts. And it's even worse now because you got drugs you can take to change the genes. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Surgery, hormones. Alright? That can alter your appearance and literally make you a woman if you're a man. Or vice versa. You see? And what happened in ancient Egypt? Israel, the Israelites were enslaved in captivity. And they built up Egypt. Right?
That's right. Which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord Yahweh Shah was crucified.
Right. And yeah, spiritually crucified our Lord, but they put him up as a physical white man. And the Northern Kingdom loved him some Caesar Borgia, man. All right? But man, we had that son, they lived it. They turned red. Give me even that Sodom and Gomorrah. Give me Isaiah 13. Because people are not talking about Isaiah 13, 19. People are not talking about this war is going to culminate. Now, over 10 years ago, we used to be down on 34th Street with a big ass USSR Russian nuclear missile sign. If the brother could attest, man, every other day it was a star for you fucking guys are crazy, get a job, America and never go to World War III and it never be a nuclear war. Yeah. They used to always come by camp. Now it be on CNN, Fox News, or RT television, or the possibility of a nuclear threat. Or what if Vladimir Putin is threatening nuclear war? Is it possible that we can go into World War III? Who would survive a nuclear holocaust? Now this is in major news networks, the possibility of a nuclear conflict. All right? So we are the prophets, man. And best believe, brothers, if we hold on to this, including myself, we will receive that reward of a prophet. First, though, we get to say, which is the greatest reward, is I told you so. All right, ain't no better feeling than saying, nigga, we told you. And then second is the receiving of the kingdom. That where we gonna really receive, we gonna literally receive crowns on our head by our beloved King Yahushua. Right. So I want to go on the
first, 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6. And turning the city of Sodom and Gomorrah,
turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, because it was not only 2 cities that was wiped out, it was 5. But Sodom and Gomorrah was primarily known for those wicked acts, right?
And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes.
Ashes. Now, hold up. Just about 2-3 years ago, they just recently did another excavation on the physical land of Sodom and Gomorrah, which was located in the south of the Dead Sea, not too far from Israel. And they said they still picking up sulfite balls and ashes. Yes. So, yeah, sulfur. And they said the sulfite, or the sulfur balls, the sulfur rocks that was found in the land is one is the purest sulfur you can get. The highest flammable sulfur you can get. It was so hot you could burn through steel. All right, that was found in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. So this is proof that the Bible is true. Go ahead.
Yeah. The good point the scripture says, line the streets of the great city of the so-called Sodom and Gomorrah. Notice, Sodom was one of the great cities. The word Sodom is, even the word is being great, but Sodom is no great world announcement. I want to see Sodom. They're talking about Rome, they're talking about Greece and all that, but not Sodom. So this particular place got to be a great city that's like Sodom. But what's going to be but Babylon again? It's not like a Babylon is rich and all that. Come on.
That's right. No. And then you go into Revelation 18 and further details the greatness and everything that they had. How they would import all these things and they have all these jewels and slaves. It's a miracle, man. Vocab, all you other naysayers. The thing is, they have this attachment to this country. They don't want it to go up. But America is the greatest prophecy, the destruction is one of the greatest prophecies in the Bible.
Continue on. Read that again. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those after. What was that? Unto those after should live ungodly. Making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
That's right, man. So if you didn't learn your lesson, an example for that land going up in flames, and you're going to do it now, what do you think the Heavenly Father's going to do? So jump and give me that. Isaiah 13,
This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. It says, at Babylon, the glory of kingdoms.
Up to 17.
This is Isaiah 13 and verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Right, now we have made mention that a lot of these nations want to get rid of the American dollar as the hegemon because the American dollar is backed by the petrol. Now the Saudis were at war with the Iranians for the longest period of time. Well, what China did, China came in as a mediator. We always use that word, mediator, to join these nations together. So now China allied the whole Middle East, completely sending a blow to America's infrastructure and its monetary power. Now, what does that mean? If the dollar's not backed by oil, and it can no longer receive its oil imports from Saudi Arabia, what does it mean for the American dollar? Hyperinflation is worthless. So we know that that's also going to usher in Revelation 13:16 because now they have no other choice. It's not something that they're doing it for recreational use or because it's convenient. They're literally not going to have anything back in their dollar. They have to use something else. Let's use this different currency, which is the CBDC, centralized banking digital currency. All right? So it says stirring up the Medes against them. Right?
It says, against them which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Right, because they're totally against America's policies. They don't want homosexuals in their land. They don't want liberated, feminized women in their land. All right? The fact that a woman could back talk you is ludicrous in that land. You can get beat up or put to death for not having a hijab on, which is meaning you covered from head to toe. All right? They don't want that in their land. So they really ain't trying to make no peace with you. All right? Go ahead.
It says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces.
Now, does it literally mean a bow? No, man. It's talking about the ICBMs. Go ahead.
It says, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb.
Right, they ain't got no choice because once a nuclear bomb detonates, anything within 100 50 to 100 miles is wiped out. Go ahead.
Their eye shall not spare children.
Go ahead.
And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms.
Babylon. There you go again. Go ahead.
It says the glory of kingdoms.
Glory of kingdoms. Go ahead.
The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency
Go ahead.
shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Whoa. So you mean it's going to be a second time that the Lord is going to have an event like that? We're Babylon the Great, man. No, but Babylon ain't in the Bible, yo. Babylon's not there. America's not in the Bible. That's not no. So what is it? Ancient Babylon was Iraq. Iraq is no glory to any nation. Them damn godheads that's in that land, worshiping cows, they're not the great place where everybody wants to go. People are jumping the border right now to get to America. Why? Because they feel like this is the land of opportunity where they can make a better life for themselves compared to their lands. This is the glory of the kingdoms. America. You know, the white picket fence, the 2.5 children, the 2-car garage. This is America. The land of opportunity and freedom for all. All right? Give us the golden cup, man. It's shiny, but it's filled with abomination. It's a beautiful, if you're on the outside of America, America looks beautiful. But it's filled with all types of atrocities and abominations.
This is Revelation chapter 17. I'm going to start at verse 1. And there came out one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 veils, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great war that sitteth upon many waters.
Right. But on top of many waters, is referring to the people. It sits on rulership of many nations, many people. Because for the longest amount of time, America ruled after World War II with the American dollar, okay? And the only reason why they chose America because America's currency was unstable. Certain currencies fluctuated. Now, what made America's dollar stable? The fact that not only was it rich, but it had a military might unprecedented by other nations. Why? Because it dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That made America, or trading with America's dollar, prominent. Therefore, every trade made in America's currency made America even more richer and stable. That's what made America so great. You see? So everybody had to go through America in order to make certain transactions. All right? So that's how we know that they gave that glory to America. And this primarily happened after World War II. You see? That propelled America to the height of its greatness. Above the dollar? Yeah.
It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
They all sat down with America because now America's that big dog after World War II. This is in Revelations, the Second World's past. This propelled Babylon the Great, mystery Babylon the Great, to the head of the nations. Now, how do we know? You go, we're located in New York in a mystery location. But if you want to find out where all nations travel to, you can look at downtown New York. It's called the United Nations Assembly. Okay? That's located in the hub of America, New York. The United Nations, where literally all nations come and congregate and have their meetings, is located in New York.
Look at the word empire, look at etymology. Look at the word empire.
And it's all in the spirit. I talked about something when it showed me the other day. And we about to go into the book. You know what I mean? I was going to, they call America, New York, Empire State. What they said was, geographically, the land of that man is actually sinking. It was actually sinking into the ocean because of all the infrastructure, man. And I said, it's spiritual because New York is an empire state and it's sinking, right? You know, physically it's sinking and spiritually it's sinking. It's on an all-time low now. Morals of these people are on all-time low.
That word empire means. You got it here.
Oh, you got it.
Is that on etymology website?
This is empire.
Territory subject to an empire. Rule. Emperor rule. In general, realms, dominion, late 14th century, and authority of an emperor. Superior power in governing. Supreme power in governing.
So there you go. This is the supreme power in government. There you go.
Yeah, said yeah. Read that part again.
Authority of an example. It's like the authority of an emperor, of supreme power.
Supreme power
In governing.
in governing. That's why America can go to these lands and say, we want the LGBTQPLCADEF to be in your land. Go ahead, continue. It says supreme power.
You said what to be in there?
LGBTQ. Yeah.
Imperial power.
That's right.
In the Middle English. Generally of a Roman empire.
Of the what?
Of a Roman empire.
What?
Empire.
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 Generally of the Roman Empire. Now, wait. Why is it equating the etymology of empire to the Roman Empire? Why? Because America is revised Rome all over again. Even down to the way America governs their policies is through a Senate House. All right, you have 3 branches of government. See, assholes, you can come up here and learn something for free. We ain't charging. We study, we students. You learn that in school. There's 3 branches of government. There's the judicial system where they go to law. There's the military executive branch that goes to the presidential system. Give me the 3 branches of government. It's judicial, legislative, and executive. The same thing was in Rome. You see? Look back. I don't know what we're talking about. But this is Rome all over again, and this is the empire. Yeah, the executive, legislative, and judicial. Right. So America is the empire which all nations. You got it right.
This is Revelation 17 and verse. You want to get it? It says, and they came out. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 veils and talked with me, saying, unto me, come hither. Vials. It says, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great war that sitteth upon many waters.
That sitteth literally means that has an empire, okay? The whore that sitteth upon many waters is what the brother said, an empire. The ones that have control of other nations. All right, go ahead.
It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
They made deals with. That's what it means, fornication. They made deals and pacts and treaties with America. Go ahead.
It says, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Yeah, now you go to these nations like Iran or certain other countries like China. They come up with a suit and tie. They got a smooth, bald-ass face. All right, they accept certain acts in their land that America does. All right, these are the nations that sit down and make pacts with America. Why? Because America was once that big dog. You couldn't challenge the American dollar. It was impossible. If not, America was going to go to war with you. Now, the same thing that's happening now that got Gaddafi killed when he wanted to back South Africa with the gold, the dollar with the gold, that got him killed. They hung him. And we don't want to go too deep, but he did a lot of amazing things for his people. Compared to America, that was the kingdom of heaven. But that was through the backing of their dollar, and he was trying to unite all of South Africa to back their dollar with gold. America went in and killed them. So the America's military, or Esau's blessing, which is the sword, kept America on top. Now they can't do that with China and Russia. Why? Because we know that if they were to invade any of those countries, it's a nuclear war. You see? Everybody, it's a mutually assured destruction. And I did a video on it not too long ago about how a Senate House is pleading with President Biden about how America's nuclear arsenal is not advanced enough to counterattack or strike these nations. Yeah, they're literally in a shit position.
Been looking up into this shit a lot. They still have the world's greatest stealth bomber. You know, in the B-2 bomber and the B-2 bomber, and they have
The Me Too? I think the Me Too bomber.
yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, the B-2 stealth bomber, and then you have the F-20, the F-20 Raptor, I believe, fighting jet. It's still the most advanced fighting jet in the world. Everybody want to get their hands on it to see how these motherfuckers did it, you know. But it's to go into the science of it, it's kind of fucking genius, you know. But they have that. But as far as like nuclear missile wise and everything, Russia ain't trying to got that. Yeah, Russia ain't trying to got that. See, America's been putting their money into their stealth fight, You know, their stealth, which now the B-2 is going to be replaced by a different stealth fighter that looks more advanced than it, and that's where they put their nukes on. You know, rather than Satan, Russia got the Satan 2. You know, so what Americans doing, they're making it smaller so they can put it on the fucking one of their stealth fighters. Yeah, it's pretty genius, but yeah, China and Russia are way more advanced than them.
Yeah, the Senate was bringing out how also they was putting money into that. But they wasn't not spending nearly enough money in military budget. They was putting it towards bonds or people's retirement accounts or government spending to keep society functioning. That's where the money was going, really. Because they didn't spend a lot of money on military for the fact they live on a high horse.
I got a precept for that. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 38, verse 11. Thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages.
Yeah, because like Brother said, they was putting it, you know, to advance certain military aspects. But the Senate also brought out that they were putting a lot of the tax money into bonds and people retirement accounts because they had the boomer generation retire at rapid rates. Now you have something called skilled labor shortage because a lot of those boomers retired, but that's where the government money was funded. They was coming towards building up certain infrastructure. You see, this is why this is the unwoke village.
Instead of going into the military strategy and building their arsenal, they was bonds. Yeah, the bonds. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up unto the land of the unwalled village, and I will go to them that are at rest.
That's literally because now all quote unquote immigrants, are just flying in there. Migrants, which is their damn land anyway. They are the tribes. But it literally means unwalled because America doesn't have a powerful defense system. But hold that down, give me that. Obadiah, because it's a reason why.
This is Obadiah in verse 2. It says, Obadiah verse 3. It says, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee.
The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, go ahead.
Thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock.
Obadiah was a book dedicated to the enemies. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Right?
It says, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock,
Right?
whose habitation is high,
Right? The high building, right?
that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right. So the Senate said, why? He said America is behind 50 years, or so far as military technology compared to China and Russia. It'd take 50 years to advance ourselves to that level. Why? Because America's been terrible for so long. They never had the need to build up a military might. They've been in every land with garrisons in every land, and they've never been challenged. You see? That's why the scripture also called America the Persian daughter of Babylon. Because America has never been into any major military conflict. I was on a website. I'm not gonna shout it out. I don't want the video there, but it shows you gruesome acts of how the Russians are treating Ukrainians. They took, man, they lining them up, they headshotting them, they're literally beheading them slowly. American soldiers have never been in a position to fight a nation like that. So read that again.
This is Obadiah, verse 3.
Because the Lord is given the hand of Joe because the Lord is given, and they said, and Daniel said the same thing Nebuchadnezzar. About, he said, I've given you all the power to kill. All right? Because that's a perfect empire. You have the power to take life. You do whatever you want. Matter of fact, the people in the UN, they have something called diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity meaning you're immune to the law. So if I'm a diplomat, I can murder somebody on camera and I can get away scot-free because I'm immune to the law. So give me that.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
Right, wicked being Esau Edom. That's why America has never been into a major conflict, because Esau's been given the earth. He never had really like a slaughter against him. You never really hit, like, you know what I'm saying, as he was coming to power, it's never been like a major war that America's been in, right?
Right. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is
That's right. He covered the faces of the angels, the saints, the Lord. Jump back to that.
This is Obadiah, verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right, so now these nations are challenging the U.S. dollar or the U.S. hegemony. It's baffling to Esau. They have something called the Sandman effect, which is all nations around the world, primarily 150 countries, will adopt the dollar simultaneously. And I believe it was like one of the Ishmaelite leaders. He said, well, these black Americans, the Hispanic Americans are broke. They don't got no money. They'll have wealth. Well, white Americans will be poor overnight. And they got a lot of guns. He said in America, it's going to be fireworks. Because the average American don't understand these deals that the nations are making. If these nations dump the dollar simultaneously, you're gonna go from paying. You think gas prices is high now? You think buying a loaf of bread or a carton of eggs is high now? You'll be paying $100, $200, $300 for a dozen eggs. All right? This is pathetic. This all has to trickle like a domino effect. These nations dumping the dollar. The Revelation 13, they have to stabilize the currency using something digital now. Because they can no longer rely on their hegemony of America being the top dog. So, you thinking you pay a high gas price, you complain about $5, $6 gas price. No, gas price is going to go at $50 a gallon. They're going to take a weak check just to fill your tank up. It's going to go on like what's happening in Venezuela. And a lot of you women will be taken, but go back to that, man. Obadiah, because y'all the most power y'all ever been on earth. And y'all don't realize, man, y'all is in a Venezuela type of environment. Y'all gonna be booty, spoil you. All right? Go ahead.
This is Obadiah, verse 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee,
Right?
thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Now, come to this.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 31.
Listen up, you Americans.
Son, arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation.
The wealthy nation of America. Right. America, according to Revelation 18, is a very wealthy nation. Right.
That
They
dwelleth
say, well, if you can't make it here, you can't make it nowhere. Right. Because let's be honest. You can provide yourself a good life in America, quote unquote. Compared to other countries, Americans are doing very well. You can have a nice apartment, you got running water. You can't say that in Peru. You can't say that in Venezuela. You can't say that even in DR, you gotta boil your water. Alright? To have clean water. Chicken is expensive. Alright? America is a wealthy country.
That's right. Arise, get you up into the wealthy nation.
This is the first country where you can make $30 an hour to be a cleaner. Or $50 an hour to do electrical work. Okay? They have all type of safety, universal safety codes. That if you go to India, you would become a fried bird just to change the power line. America's a wealthy nation. Hey, you can become a rotisserie chicken. They got the money, they ain't got that equipment. Motherfucker, you gotta go up there and chicken that. That's right. Now you're gonna become rotisserie chicken. Well, you better pray because you ain't got no life insurance. See, America got life insurance. In these countries, you ain't got, in DR, you ain't got child support. All right? Costa Rica, you ain't got life insurance that you gonna get paid out $500,000 in American dollars. So America's a very wealthy nation. Let's keep it real, bud.
That dwelleth without care.
They don't well with care. That's why the least call you sheeple, man. You ask the regular people what is RFID chip? They can't tell. We ain't talking about the they gonna blend you. We talking about the shit that you find in your wallet. What does it stand for? They can't tell you. The American people are what, ranked like 20 something in world educational platforms. This is a nation without care, man. That's why every Friday, Saturday night, if you in any major city, go down and see how busting and careless they are. And everybody die every week. Somebody always dying. Go ahead.
Right. Arise, get you up into the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, say the Lord Yahweh, which have neither gate nor bars, which dwell alone.
They dwell alone without care, man. The Americans are careless. That's why they're not concerned about the prophets or the prophecies that we're bringing up. They don't care about it. They don't care about how Saudi dumped the say, yo, we're not dealing with you anymore. We're breaking up with you, America. So what does that mean? Gas prices about to go through the roof. And not to mention, as of June 1st, you have something called the U.S. National Debt, the debt ceiling. Okay. Now, what does that mean for people that don't know? The average American already have bad credit, so they don't know anything about credit, right? To have a debt ceiling is compared to somebody with an average credit score. Now, you know that you have to have a payment that you have to make soon, all right? Now, you have a credit card, you have to make payments. Now, what happens if you don't have the money and you can't make a minimum payment? You have to prolong it. Or you might have like a balance transfer, all right? to transfer over the debt. Now, it's only so many times you can do that before your credit union is like, look, you can no longer transfer the balance, you gotta pay this shit. Hold up. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. Before they close it, what do you have to do? Now, what do you have to do? Hold on, before you close the account, what do you have to do? You gotta pay it. No. You gotta pay it, right? All right. You gotta file for bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? Now what happens, see, it's not like us. When we file for bankruptcy and you gotta pay the debt, you gotta sell your house. That's chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now what happens if America goes into default? That means you gotta fire a lot of people. That means $5.5 million jobs is wiped immediately. That means government contracts, government funds are not getting paid out for government employees. That means city projects and city things are not going to be funded anymore. So what does that mean? Less police force, less firefighters, less people to take care of the elderly folks. This is what happens when there's a default in a loan that America owes. All right? And And this is as of June 1st, which is what, a week and a half away? And what would that cause? So anarchy, so America is in a complete shitbag here. It's in a bad case. But you asked me?
It's in Jeremiah chapter 51. I'm gonna start at verse 6.
And the average Americans are not talking about this debt ceiling. They don't care. If they default in loan, what's gonna happen? A lot of people gonna lose their jobs. It's bad enough. It's hard enough for people.
It says Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
Now, does it mean a little plane go to Jerusalem and be by a nuclear waste? No. Hey, get the passport, turn to a passport, bro. No. It means spiritually free. Come back to the Lord. Call on his name. Not Most High and Christ bless. Don't call on that. Because the Most High ain't hearing that, all right? But, yeah. I mean, turn back to the Lord. Right? So the Lord is calling Israel right now. Okay?
It says, be not cut off in her iniquity.
Yeah, don't be cut off with it, man. Right?
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
This is the time of his vengeance. Right?
He will render unto her a recompense.
He about to judge America for what it's done, man. Right?
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand,
Right.
that made all the earth drunken.
Yeah, now how did America make all the earth drunken? Going around, spreading around his policies, going to war with them, taking over their land. Now, I brought it out, what, maybe a year or two ago. I believe it's Saudi Arabia. They used to penalize adultery. It's no longer penalized. It's no longer a crime for adultery. And we already know in America that's rampant. You got a girlfriend now, you can expect them to cheat. All right? You can expect to having, Tyrone or Ray Ray and them, or Chad slide up in it.
Girls only your girl when she's with you.
Right.
Some nigga told me.
And the nigga boast on that, man. You see? So that's certain things that they had, man.
It says that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken upon wine. Therefore, the nations are mad.
Yeah, they embrace these American policies. They embrace how America handled their money by debt notes. They embrace the IMF, all right, to now enslave their country. And it made them drunk. See? And now they're mad. They're mad as hell. It's almost like America, that creep white man, that be in that bar talking about, hey, clean lady, when you buy you a drink, she gonna turn her head, he put a roof in. And he's a known serial roofie guy. Every time I think about that scripture, I think of fucking not Ted Bundy, the other one they made a movie about. Right there, man. Jeffrey Dahmer, man. That's the face of America. Jeffrey Dahmer. That freak. That he'll put a roofie and drink. And he'll take you home and then eat you, man.
Rape you first.
Yeah, rape you, eat you. I think about Jeffrey Dahmer every time. That's the face of Babylon the Great, man. Jeffrey Dahmer.
It says Babylon is suddenly
Somebody
fallen.
gotta make a picture of that, man. Jeffrey Dahmer with the glasses on, with the American Eagle at the back. Like a GMS channel. The Great Horde.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Right.
How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed.
Now, balm is a healing agent. You take balm if you got an open wound or you might got a short lip. They're healing. But America can't be healed, man. America's in $33 trillion in debt. The debt ceiling is June 1st. What's gonna happen if they shut down the government? A lot of people ain't gonna get their paychecks, man. That means you thought about school shootings and you think it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get so bad, people ain't gonna leave their house. It's gonna be so bad, man. They're gonna bug out. This is the time we come into it. And this is the time we keep worrying because this is what the problem is that it's going to happen.
Right? It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country.
And that's why all these nations, even though they come, it's mainly our people that come here. But these other nations, they going back. They said, all we really wanted from America was real estate. But even then, it's too dangerous to live in America. They'll tell you that. Their country is safer. All right? Now you go somewhere like Chicago, they call that shit Chirac. there was so many murders. America's bloody now, bro. So a lot of these nations are going back to where they came from, bro.
For her judgment reaching into heaven and then lifting up even to the skies.
That's right, bro. That's it. That was it, man.
They try to take what? They'll build up the infrastructure to increase tourism and all that shit. That ain't working. Because a lot of people see, even like I spoke about earlier, the morality of America. You got a lot of people that don't really rock this whole homosexual thing in America. They're like, we're not going to do that. Or we're going to get fuck out of here. Or the students, it backfire. Now, sit down. The more money you pump, the more worthless that dollar becomes, and that dollar is totally worthless now. That's why all the rich nations is floating away from us now.
There was a video of Jake in a convenience store. What do you mean? BOT $6? $6?
Oh, yeah.
He said, now you about to make me fuck you up.
Yeah.
$6 for a BOT? And that nigga was really mad though.
Yeah,
He's really about to cause a homicide with the Arabics. That nigga was mad. He said, $6 for a BOT?
Jake ain't eating 2 hours, man. You best believe that nigga mad as hell.
Yes,
You see what I'm saying?
right now, they complaining Similac up. Similac up.
You baby mom got titties for a reason. That's right. I'm fucking single like this shit, man. So that bitch stop fucking drinking and smoking and fucking eat good and feed that baby.
Niggas mad. You used to go to the bar, probably get a drink for like maybe $7, $8. Nigga, you paying $20 now. That's why dudes ain't even taking women on dates no more. That's like a $200.
Yeah.
That's like a $200.
You ain't getting that, bro. We gonna split this bill, right? Yeah, right, bro. Hey, bro. I was going to do this drink one time, man. You guys just try to fucking play me. And the Lord had it, I didn't get to take her out. I was going to take that bitch out and run out on the bill, bro. I'm about to be back. I was going to stop, bro. I had it planned out and everything. The Lord had it, man. It didn't go that way, bro. Shut up, man.
People complain about the times and shit is really hard, man. It's hard, man. And it's about to get worse. Like I said, all these nations dumping the dollar. It's only gonna make the value of the dollar even worse than what it is. So you're gonna come in at the pump one day, that shit gonna be $20 a gallon.
Hey, like, when you guys that sold out in Israel for that money, guess what? That's just worthless now, dude. What you gonna do when you go on that class? That's why you got certain guys teaching that MOTV is not what it is now. You know, because that's how they're gonna transfer their fucking money.
This is yeah, you wasting your time, bro. You wasting your time selling out, bro. They're like this shit about to crash, man. You like what you said? It was what part of Africa you said? If you're holding American dollars, I feel bad for you.
I think that's
Ghana, yeah. Was it Ghana? Yeah, well, it was one of them West Africa. You know, if you're holding American dollars, I feel bad for you. Yeah, man, cause that shit gonna be paper money, man. Literally, you gonna go and you gonna how much is this water bottle? Well, it's $50.
I've been saying like a couple of weeks at my job, I've been doing all this just to lose. You know, like it's a waste of time, man. They used to sell out just to lose. Like that guy in the Matrix, sleeping real, but it's so good.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Keep watching, yeah, all these cats that come out the truth. Guess what? Here you go.
You know, there's a stock market up to you. You pulled out too soon. Yeah, you pulled out for the dick was good. I mean, you ain't believe in your investment. Now, you don't go into the stock market. They have something called double down. So if your initial investment was at a loss, if you believed in it, if you was convicted enough, you invest more. Because you know it go up one day. Yeah. But these niggas spiritually didn't double down. They took a loss and they said, fuck it, I'm out. They cut it. The adversity hit. They said, and some of the best investors can outweigh a bad predicament. And if you spiritually We spiritually invested in this truth. Through the good, the bad, the ugly.
Hey, I'm sorry, real quick. That's what Job's wife. I'm sorry, that's what Job said to his wife. You know, so when we see good in the hands of the Lord and that bad, you know, we're going to receive good and bad. It's a balanced house, man. We're going to get some good time. You're going to be like, man, come up. You're going to have a good time. Man, we up, bro. We up, this, that. And guess what? The Lord was like, give me that. Down, bro.
It's like that.
But guess what? He's still out here, right? Through the grace of God, y'all about to outside. And Lord willing, we gonna keep it that way, bro. And fuck it, man. We'll take our L's right now. Because we know we got a big win waiting for us, man.
Give me that parable we brought it out about laborers coming in. Yeah, because spiritually, this is where we're at right now. So for the, you know, and this is speak of not to boast or brag, because it's all through the spirit. We all want to remain in this truth through the spirit of power. Yahweh, it's a fight, right? But most of the hardship and most of the heavy affliction is already past. Because now the words that we speaking, we're starting to see it from the past. So it's not so much affliction now. Now we ain't so grateful, right?
Matthew 18, verse 18. This is Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard.
Yeah, so he's spiritually like going to Home Depot. That's where all the laborers went together. But they trying to make some money. So the householder is Yahweh Shah with this word, all right? This word is considered the householder with the spirit of power Yahweh Shah. So this word is going out to hire the laborers. Right?
It says, this is Matthew 20, verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard.
Right, because he needed the job to be done, right?
And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard.
So he sent them out. So once he hired them, he said, yo, everybody that's going to work in my vineyard, you get a penny. All right?
And he went out about the third hour,
So he left, right?
and saw others standing idle in the marketplace.
So he went out to find more workers, and he seen them idle in the marketplace, right?
It says, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you.
Right, so they came later on. All right, so that's spiritually talking about our elders came out and they started finding breakdowns in the name of the Lord, that we're the children of Israel. They started going out and teaching. All right, now our elders came later. They was in the marketplace idle. They started to come. Right?
It says, and whatsoever is right I will give you, and they went their way. Again, he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise.
I believe 6 and 9. It's a 6 and 9 hours. 6 hours. It's a 6 hours. It's like afternoon.
9th is like
The 6 and the 9th, okay. So that's towards the end of the day, right? Now what is that talking about? That means that we're getting closer to the day of the Lord's return, right? Yeah, brothers coming in massively, but towards the end. So, because our elders did a 30-year, bid with the truth, 30 plus years. And some brothers did 10 years, and some brothers did 20 years, all right?
It says, and about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and saith unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle? They said unto him, Because no man hath hired us.
Right, so now we're coming towards the end of the day, all right? Or the end to where the prophecy is about to fully take place. Now you got guys that said it's time and still haven't come in yet. But you got guys that might then, not then, but you might have come in 2 months and received the same penny, as a man that served 30 years in the truth. You see? Go ahead.
It says, and he saith unto them.
Yeah, because you know, naturally you be like, how you gonna make as much money as me? And he only been out here for an hour. And we was out here since early day. Moving all this heavy ass shit. We in the middle of the sun beaming on our neck, we sweating. Yeah, that's a part of, you know, and now that the time is close to the end, a lot of the things that we used to do, we ain't had to do no more. Buds ain't really holding signs like that. I mean, of course we hold posts, but it's not a heavy burden. We're not putting as many hours in as we used to. You know what I'm saying? Things are getting more, you know, like more, you know, compact, tight.
This is Romans 14:4. Who art thou who judges another man's servant? It says to his own master, he standeth or faileth, yea, he shall be held up. The Most High is able to make him stand. I say that because you don't have guys that come in the last hour with the same. And guess what? You can't say nothing against that. Because your outside, you know, he was doing the work for your outside and your outside is the way. You don't know what he's doing. You know, for the Lord, or what the Lord had that to do. You can't say, you know, God's plan, like, wait a minute. You failing this whole time, you got here, you gonna do the same thing. The Lord's gonna say, listen, we all agree to it. Nothing more. So that, hey, man, when you go into that, man, you're not supposed to judge another man's sin. And you gotta be careful, you know, things you say about another man or another brother. How much that man means to the Lord. At the end of the day, it's all about how much the Lord cares for you.
This is John chapter 9 and verse 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work.
Who say you're supposed to get anything? You got it's your reasonable service. You're supposed to get out there and do it.
Yeah, when he said, when I had, that's called verbatim. When I had to do what I do on my own, they said to all this, you know, it's a reasonable service. So that kind of good, you know. The law to make the kingdom. The law to make the kingdom.
I'm thinking about, you said you're supposed to get anything. It's a reasonable service. I said the same thing about that.
You kind of quoted it different. It says, it's a reasonable service. Now, he probably just misquoted. But it's scripture in Revelation in Romans, it says reasonable service.
Yes, sir. That's another one where they totally
Oh, yeah, bro. This is Matthew chapter 20. I'm going to start back at verse 6. And about the 11th hour, he went out and found others standing idle, and saith unto them, why stand ye here all the day idle? They say unto him, because no man hath hired us. He saith unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard saith unto his steward, call the laborers.
Right. So that type of God was damn near the day almost done. So, you know, these brothers come in and most of the work is already done. It's already done. You know, most of the day is almost over. It's still working. I mean, you at the end of the day ain't really that much. Most people are wrapping up. You know, you go, I used to work construction, and towards the end of the job, like, you know, maybe 30 minutes, an hour before, 45 minutes, people are starting putting their tools away, you know what I mean? They doing their like little cleanup. Because you done with the day, you about to wrap it up. You go home. So it's like them guys coming on the job site and everybody wrapping everything up. You know, you're looking at them like, my friend, if they almost done, man, you no more work to do for the day. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
It says, call the laborers and give them their hire.
Right, spiritually, this is what it's talking about. Because we've been out here laboring, you know, for all this time. And, you know, it's still men that haven't come to the truth. But the work is damn near finished. Go ahead. But we see the prophecies taking place. So we almost out of here. But we know it ain't the end because we still doing this. Right?
It says, beginning from the last unto the first.
Right. So he said, call the stewards, beginning from the last, the people that started it, and the people that came in late. Right? Or later. Excuse me, not late.
It says, and when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny.
So even at the 11th hour, at the bring-in, they received that penny. Right?
It says, but when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more.
Right?
And they likewise received every man a penny.
Yeah, because like what it said, man, the ultimate goal is the kingdom of heaven. So you don't matter if you listen, when you come in the truth, your mindset should be through thick and thin for however long it has to be. I gotta do this. Don't come in there with the guys of old time like, oh, year 2000 or year 2012, it should come. Your mentality should be, I'm gonna serve the Lord to the very end.
It's Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower setteth not down first and counteth the cost?
Like you count the cost. Like you have engineers or what they have like contract inspectors or something like that. Yeah, blueprint writers, they say, all right, so roughly according to how we drew it out, it might take you 3.5 years. It might cost $10 million, $2 million for labor, $5 million for parts, da. We'll count the costs. Go ahead. Yeah.
Intending to build a tower setteth not down first and counted the cost.
And you don't blindly go in and like, I'm gonna build it. No, you ain't got enough money for it. You ain't got the time or the hands to build it.
Materials, you gotta spend money for materials. You gotta get cement, right? You gotta get sand, right? You gotta have a water supply, water. Have money for labor. Tools, you need some bricklayers, you need some builders. All of these. This can't build up without setting up plans for it.
You count the costs. All this has to take account. It has to be an estimate how much of all this soldier's going to go. If you even afford it, you say you might have to cut in one area. So you have to count the costs. Like how you build a tower, you have to count the costs when you come to the truth. Are you willing to put up with the pressure of the world? Are you willing to be ostracized? Are you willing to lose your job? Are you willing to be hated by family? You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to sacrifice on Sabbath days? I mean, these are things you have to count. There's a cost that you have to take account of.
That shit's hurtful, bro. Being, son by your family member, who you grew up with, you not this way, bro. Don't give me that Mr. Big and Dad Israel. No, we've never been a good shit. Never been a good shit. I'm out of here with that shit, man. That shit hurts, man. You lose your family. Some you lose the love of your life. You lose everything you care for, man. And if you start caring for something too much, you lose that. This shit hurts, bro. This is not a fucking a walk in the park. That's hurting, bro. That's hurting, especially when you see it. That is fucking hurting, man. When you hear guys talk about, man, weak, you know what I'm saying? Man, sometimes you break the fuck down, bro. And that's all the part of the Lord's plan, because, every time you break down and you think about, you start going through something new, you realize, wait a minute, it's not bothering me as much. Guess what? Now you're going to do this. It's all about the obstacles and tests to overcome it. To overcome that shit, to overcome that thing last time.
How many say in 2023 we quite proven. Because everything our apostles taught us is happening. So we counted the course, and you know what? We gave up our whole life. We look back at it now, it ain't nothing there. People that we know, they done took that 49 girl juice. They did everything that the world wanted to do, and now they don't have nothing to look forward to. Okay. And it says Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower that sitteth not down first and counteth the cost? right. It says, Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have suffered to be sufficient to finish it, and count whether he have sufficient to finish it.
Right, so you count, you sit like what he said, you sit down and count all his costs, whether you have enough to finish the job. And that's essentially what you have to do with this word, is truth, right? But part of being a laborer in the vineyard of the Lord, you have to sit down and count the costs. Because we know at the end of the day you're going to receive a penny, but can you physically do the job to receive this penny? Do you qualify for it? Don't take a job you can't qualify for. You know, some people can't be bricklayers. It's a hard job. Some people can't be accountants. They just don't know the information.
It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. There's no lockouts, man. No breaks. There's so many months to it. It's 24 hours, 7-day job. 24/7, 365 job. Until the Lord comes back. That's it.
Even when you go out here in the street teaching, right? Now, let's say you're going to your videos, the videos on YouTube, you're at work, you get a notification somebody's on the college will actually question. Guess what? You gotta teach that person. You know? You gotta find some time, so you know what, at my break time, I'm not to teach this code, I'm not to break it down for them. That's how it is, man.
When you say break time, you mean break time for the 9-to-5 job.
When you're 9 to 5 job, not this one, you know what I'm saying?
And even though that, you still don't do your job because, you know, still have to do laws. Read that scripture in that scripture.
Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, Yahweh Yahushua, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecy.
With that, hold it up.
So with that, we will say shalom to next week.
Shalom. All right.
All right,